Hello, everybody. How's everybody going? Forgot to tell you.
Hey.
welcome, everybody to McArthur Live. Hope you guys enjoyed a little intro clip there, and
Took all
hopefully
day.
the mic's working okay and everything. So, all right, how's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah.
You're with Tim and
Sarah Davis.
Sarah Davis. All right, welcome, everybody with our backdrop. So, don't have the windows done yet. We're gonna get those made up with the nice Kansas sunset.
Yes.
So since we are in Kansas, so
Yep.
you guys get a chance to see that every week. So we'll have that. Yeah. So we're working on that. I'll get done soon. Hopefully, maybe by next week.
And the Colorado shot for the other window.
Yes, we got a Colorado shot for over here that I get a look at. So, which is really awesome. From when we went to Supercell. So that footage there was from Supercell. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that little clip. And the reason we were late was we were putting together that clip. So what we were waiting on. So I hope you guys was patient with us there, and welcome everybody. So, all right, what else we got here? Welcome in all our members as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys for being members. And Sarah, you ready to tell them about how to become a member if they want to?
Yeah, I can do that while I'm trying to get this loaded. If you'd like to become a member, hit that join button. It's right there by the subscribe button. If you are an iPhone user, you have to do things a little bit differently. You have to go to your desktop browser, go up to the link and hit the little A and big A and request desktop browser. At that point, you should be able to see the join button.
There you go. And then all of our member content you can find under the membership tab there.
Yep.
Or the community tab. Usually it should all show up under, if you're a member, you can just go to the membership and it'll show you that. That information. Community would be for members and non-members. Anytime we do something public, we'll be in that community section there. So there you go. It's all right. And yeah.
There we go. Still figuring out
our situation here.
And
making sure I look at the right camera.
Yes.
Maybe I should turn the camera light on.
Yeah.
Still have the Raptor in the back, even though it's sold. People asked about that last week.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sold. So I think all of our Raptor R's are sold. So yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, just got a Raptor in today. Sold one as well. So it's not available.
Sold.
A lot of Mustangs that came in that are available though. And we're actually.
I did my short on that yesterday.
Yeah, we're below MSRP. I think we might even be $2,000 below MSRP. I can't remember. 1,500 maybe? Yeah. Maybe 1,500 below. You just repriced them.
What's tonight's topic?
We're going to talk about aftermarket accessories. Okay. With a lot of vehicles coming in. We thought, what are the accessories everybody's putting on their vehicles? Perfect. So we're going to talk about that.
That helps me decide what questions to answer in the chat and which ones to answer out loud.
Yep. Our Is It True is going to be about Maverick.
Okay.
So the XL trim. We'll talk about that. Anyway.
All right.
Well, welcome everybody. And you ready for the shout out for the members, or we need to chat a little bit while you
Oh no, we can do that. I can scroll back through.
All right.
So we have just thrown off tonight. All right. We have Midcoast Maine here. He's saying he was shouting out to MM. You're not out driving a Mav? ? No, she is out driving her Bronco. So I hadn't heard back from Tate on how that went. So I don't think he was here today.
I don't know.
No.
But she was on Alternate Nation last night, and she had said that she got her Bronco, and she was happy, and she even told them on their live stream, thanks to Tate and to you and to me. Yeah.
Good.
So.
All right. We also have Alan, evening from Oregon. We, of course, have both of our extra moderators here, or our other moderators, not extra. Ridgeview and Niles.
Yep.
Niles is an employee here, and we have Ridgeview out in Maine helping us out. We also have Vols44 at McArthur. Raptors go quick. Did the Bronco Raptor from the Saturday lot walk ship yet? I feel
No, that's still, I know it's still in the bricks.
Ooh, we have a Bronco. Oh, yeah. I've done a few shorts on Bronco Raptors.
It's sold, but they left it on the bricks out there like it's still on the lot. So
yeah.
Anyway.
All right. We have Jim Hughes here saying hi to Ridgeview. We also have Justin Willard, which I thought you were green, but it's John Watkins that's green above you. My eyes are getting tricked tonight.
Yeah.
Let's go up to the beginning because we have Mark Meyer, excited to have the one and only Niles Gridley tonight, and it's so thoughtful. Tim has always has him on his mind.
Yep.
Mark is getting his soon, his Maverick. I'm excited about that. We have, let's see, Gene Hanks. All right, guys, I'm also apologizing about a glitch in my phone last week. It kept sending the same message over and over, and I apologize. That's quite okay. Usually, if I see the multiple messages of the same message, I ignore one and keep one. All right. We also have F. Wesley Eubank. Haven't seen you around for a minute unless you changed your name recently. He says, hi from Gainesville, Florida. So we have a good mix of members in here tonight.
Yeah.
Francis Arrigo. Still waiting on his Bronco.
Yes. Add a map. So may not happen. Although Ford is telling dealers that they're still shipping out of there.
Yes.
We have one that has been produced and is not shipping out of there. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's happening. But at least other factories haven't been affected by any strikes. Mm-hmm. Thanks to Ford working with the UAW. Awesome.
Yeah. Bulls 44 asked, wanted to ask last week if Lebo has difficulties when ceramic coating vehicles with aftermarket graphics. No, they tape off the graphics before they usually apply. So that way matte doesn't get messed up. I believe the ceramic coating can mess up the graphics. So he tapes it off.
So Niles, I think, answered that. But for those that are listening to the podcast, which I forgot to talk about.
Yes. So.
All right.
All right.
Awesome.
Glad you didn't put in the bookcase. That still may be an option. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it would be like clear over here, though.
Yeah. It'd be behind where I'm at.
So it would be one of those we'd have to move the camera for you guys to see it because it'd be behind Sarah. Mm-hmm. But yes, it'd be probably more something that we would do with our members, our member live as well, so
show it off.
Yes. So anyway, all right. Also, don't forget, we do have, I don't talk about it very often because it's not a big deal, but we do have merch. We do have a merch site that's linked in all of our videos. Also, it's the bottom of YouTube, except for lives. If you want to get any of our merch.
Any of our videos, you will find it there.
There's always specials going on. I always forget to talk about it because the merch is it's there if you go on it. If it's not a big deal because it's not, I have the prices to where I'm not really making any money on it, but it's just providing it to people if they want, they can. So, which also allows me to be able to buy my own merch. So,
it's nice because I buy my own merch, or I buy our merch.
Yeah. All right. Recent videos this week, within the last week, we started working on the 2024 F-150 complete guide videos that's kind of where I started doing a lot of the videos was those videos. XL, STX, XLT is done. We also, we had one last straggling video from the auto show that I had go live on Monday. I wanted to have that go live before our, of course, one of the channels that I know starts their live streams. I made sure it was done playing before he started his Johnny's Car Cam reviews. So threw that in there, and I actually didn't realize he was going to be talking about Ranger later that night. So just threw it out. And then also this week we hopefully will get. And then we're editing the 24 F-150 Lariat video and King Ranch and Platinum. We'll hopefully get those recorded this week and up and online as well for you. So we'll see and see who knows what else comes about. So any kind of news. There you go. And don't forget about the channels that we like to support and I actually follow. So Johnny's Car Cam Reviews, watched his last night. I was able to listen to most of it. Not us actually getting the chat that much, but was able to listen. And then watched Alternate Nation where I was able to chat a little bit more and type it in the comments. But those two channels. Also, don't forget RagnarCon, who's one of our members, has a channel. We also do PA Outdoorsman on Maverick Truck Club. He has one, Maverick Hunter. Second Nature Overland. He watches us. Keith. In fact, Keith was actually one of the clips there. He was actually there recording coming up there and part of that on the trail because he got some footage of us too. So, yes. So, and I'm still going through our footage. So, he had said anything that we had where he was in front of us, if we could throw that to him and we would do that, and no problem. So, anyway, let's see who else is. I don't know who else. Oh, Bronco Nation, of course, as well down there too. They live stream every Wednesday night, so you want to check those channels out. We kind of support them and think they're good channels, and I only recommend channels that I like to watch. There's actually others as well. Bronco, which we saw them, and Colorado. They got a good channel, and there's a bunch of others.
I've enjoyed watching their
I watched
stuff.
a lot of the Bronco ones. I got a problem.
I enjoy Bronco because they include, it's a family thing for them, and their son helps them. It's fun to watch for me.
Yep. So good stuff. And then of course Chase Gentry was at Supercell as well. And in fact, I noticed he was taking pictures of me going through that one part. But anyway, so and then we're gonna see how long till Rebel Rally starts.
15 days.
15 days. So we'll remind you guys of that too.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated.
Keep you updated on that. So Ford has, I think, 5 teams.
5 official teams.
5 official teams, but there's a bunch of others driving Broncos as well that are amateurs that aren't sponsored by Ford. Mm-hmm. So, and Ford's not providing their vehicles. So, some of them are looking for sponsorships. So, anyway, all right. What else we got here? I think that's about it. I was thinking there was something else. Anyway, I don't know.
All right.
So. I did. I think there's. I was going to get an update on Eric. Last week I told you guys Eric was having open heart surgery, and that happened on Wednesday.
Yes.
And I haven't heard yet how that went. So he hasn't emailed me back. So I told him to keep us posted. So
he got my personal email.
So anyway, but we'll keep you guys updated and let you guys know, especially members, because he is one of our members. So, keep him in your prayers too. And all right. I don't think I have anything else.
All right.
I was thinking I had a link in the description, but I don't know. Anyway, right here, I can look at it here. See what else we got there. So I'll make sure I don't miss anything. Nope. We're good. All right. So we actually moved some things around. Niles was going to be on live with us, but Niles is getting certification tomorrow for his drone pilot license. So I told him rest up, but he is in the chat, so he may join us. So we're going to actually do this in the normal agenda fashion. Most of you guys probably don't read the descriptions anyway, but so let's go on. We're going to start with scheduling information. Here, we're going to move on to that. We don't have a good dealer highlight. So if you have a good dealer you've had some good experience with, make sure you send those to us so we can highlight those good dealers. We need some of those. But let's get into scheduling information. All right, so scheduling notes, don't forget, we'll go up here because we do want to go over some of this information. So don't forget the things that some of the phrases and some of the words that we'll be using during this. We'll make sure you guys have that, and that's, of course, order bank. So we're talking about scheduling information. That's for people that have an order in their dealer's order bank, basically, right? That's where they place their stock and retail orders. And if you place an order with your dealer, that's considered a retail order is what Ford likes to call that. And then stock orders would be orders that dealers put in place when they have no retail orders, but they have allocations, which we'll get to that in a second. Then they want stock orders and stuff. Like right now, we're seeing a lot of that for F-150s and some of those where there's not a lot of retail orders. Which will actually this week we can highlight and give you guys that information. Priority codes, that is what a dealer places a priority code on each order that they put in there. All retail orders are anywhere from an 03 to 19. Again, I need to update that. And then 20 to 80 is stock. So lower the better. So you can see a retail order will always be looked at before any stock order, because it's lower is better. Scheduling, and that is what we're going to talk about. Scheduling information. That is when Ford schedules an order for a production date. So that'd be an unscheduled order is looking to get scheduled for production date so their vehicle can get produced. And they always schedule in future months. So most models, they schedule 2 months out. So most models are scheduling for November build dates. F-150 Super Duty, it's usually just 1 month out. So they're scheduling for October build dates. So they'll be scheduled to the week, and eventually when they get closer, they'll get scheduled to the day. Allocations. So orders are placed in the dealer's system order banks. Dealer needs an allocation to be able to schedule that order. So they earn allocations based on their sales volume. So just because you have a retail order in there doesn't mean your dealer is gonna get an allocation for your order. It doesn't work that way. We didn't get enough allocations to cover all of our Maverick orders last year, which is why they had to be rolled over. Some dealers didn't, maybe had earned allocations, but they didn't have enough retail orders. That's where the stock orders come in to fulfill the rest of those allocations. Constraints, those would be options that are in short supply that may take longer to build, something like that. That's why I tell you to stay away from, some of those accessories, because they can only do so many because they have to install those. Let your dealers do it. There's more dealers than there are factory workers to be able to put those in. Capacity, that is the planned production rate for a given motor, trim, or option for the entire year, not based on how many orders they have. That's based on what they feel like they can produce. So we'll talk about some of those numbers tonight. Job 1 and 2, they usually will split up their production year into 2 different job runs in case they come up with a snag, something has to be changed, like they had with Bronco Sport last year, where they were struggling with the black painted roofs. So they had to switch that to body color on the Outer Banks and the Badlands. So that's where they would have that second job where they can cut it off and redo that. The other is balance out. So that is when they're done with production on a certain color, option, even model sometimes, where they're balanced out and they're finishing out for production before moving on to the next model year. So there you go. Want to make sure people know about that kind of stuff. All right. And so as we go through this, we'll talk about this. And when we get to the is it true, actually, we'll break down some other things to think about as well for when you start thinking about some of those people that put things out on social media that they probably shouldn't. So let's get into Mustang first. Some things I need to add to that sheet is some of these situations I might say that a certain option is unlimited availability for scheduling, and some are exhausted availability. And limited availability it's very limited in number, but they do have some availability for pulling orders with those options on there. Exhausted, according to them, for this week. And we talk about these constraints that are on here. This is based on this week. It's not based for the whole year. It's not based for necessarily the entire month. This is what has been updated for this current week of scheduling. So just keep that in mind as well. That's something that came up in a lot of comments on this video on YouTube. So limit availability would be something that they could get a few done, but it's on a smaller scale. Exhausted means, according to them, that they're pretty much out of those parts, or they're out of something that they need to make that option or that package. But we've seen people get scheduled that had options that were exhausted. So just because it says exhausted doesn't mean you're done. It's a 0% or anything like that. It just means it's going to be more difficult. They're not going to do as many. So I have seen some with exhausted that got scheduled and have noted that in my videos, and that can happen. So keep that in mind. And I know that this is on a national scale. It could be different on a smaller regional scale. So it could be changed and modified there. Late availability will be something that's not available at this time, but will be available later. So there's some other terms that I'm seeing. Yeah. Anyway, if I come up with them, I'll let you know. So starting with Mustang. Mustang is not scheduling this week, and currently Mustang has 1,600 orders in order bank. Actually, you know what? I was going to go to the other camera. Maybe I'll do that. Right?
Yes, you're supposed to switch it.
Go to the other camera. Now I'll have a hard time watching that one. All right. So that just helps out. So that way, Sarah's going to keep chatting with you guys if you have any questions. Don't forget, if you have any questions, put in at Sarah Davis, and she'll answer your questions for you. All right. So 24 Mustang, not scheduling this week. 1,600 orders, unscheduled orders in order bank, not counting Dark Horse. 24 Escape is next. Looks like they are scheduling for build dates in November, the weeks of November 13th, which is the first week they're going to start 24 model year through the week of November 27th. There's currently 574 orders in the order bank. And right now, the only really constraint there is that plug-in hybrid is being produced at a 22% rate. Or no, they have about 22% of their orders are plug-in, and their capacity is 7%. So they're a little over capacity, but since there's only 574 orders, should be good if you have a plug-in hybrid order in there. Shouldn't have an issue getting it built this year. It just may take a little longer to get yours scheduled. So keep that in mind and be patient with that. 24 model year Bronco Sport. They are doing cleanup scheduling. That means they are scheduling. So we're getting into the end of September, and as we start October, let's just skip October altogether. When it's into October, that usually will still be using September's allocations. So keep that in mind. It takes about a week or so or 10 days before they flip over and are using October's allocations for scheduling. So they are scheduling for Bronco Sport for production weeks, a week of November 6th through November 27th. Like I said, they're scheduling 2 months in advance on Bronco Sport. It does say in here exhausted availability on Outer Banks, but still could be a possibility. Limited availability for the following packages: Premium Package, which is optional on Badlands; the Tech Package, which is optional on Outer Banks; the front and rear splash guards. So limited availability, so very small number there. Exhaust availability is on that Convenience Package, which is optional on the Big Bend. And then late availability package is the Black Appearance Package, and late availability trim level is the Freewheeling Edition. So that is not ready yet. A lot of times when we see late availability, usually it's like halfway through the model year. So have that in your mind. 271 orders in the order bank, and 12% of those are freewheeling, so which can't be scheduled yet. So it gives you an idea that there aren't a lot of orders in there that really even though some of those say limit availability and exhausted, probably won't have a problem getting those scheduled because, there's only 271 orders in the order bank. So there you go. All right, moving on to 24 Edge. They are scheduling this week for production dates the week of October 30th through November 27th. There's only 277 Edge orders in the order bank, so shouldn't have a problem getting yours scheduled if you have one submitted and waiting to get scheduled. 24 Ranger, and not scheduling right now, not producing. They haven't started up 24 model year yet. There's 2,800 orders in the order bank waiting to get scheduled. Some that are already scheduled, and those build dates are going to be pushed back. Right now, it's to be determined. It's probably going to be. They'll probably hopefully launch it as soon as they can settle on with the UAW. So, because the Ranger plant is Michigan Assembly Plant, which is now shut down right now. So no scheduling on those. No production. Not really much else I can talk about there. We do know. Don't forget, we've mentioned this for several weeks. 24 or the FX4 package needs those running boards put on those orders. And I haven't been saying this yet or all along. I don't know why. Order banks are open up for 24 model year Mustang, as well as Escape, Bronco Sport, Edge, except for ST, and Ranger. All order banks are open up for all those. Now, 23 model year Bronco, because we're still doing that, not scheduling this week. There's about 9,200 orders in the unscheduled orders in the order bank right now. So keep that in mind. Not a lot, really, once they can get that plan up and running. That probably, I think those are unscheduled orders. 9,200 are probably including 24 model year. Don't know. This was showing just 23, but I wonder if any of those are 24s. Don't forget, they're not scheduling this week, so we don't really need to talk about constraints because that's what they are. Now, I will say this: of the 9,200 orders, 92% of them have a hard top on the order. 92%. That is not their capacity. So I'll let you know how long that's going to take. 16% of those orders are Heritage Edition. I'll let you guys get to calculate, do that math if you want. But again, right now they're not scheduling Heritage Editions. They're not scheduling anything this week, but there you go. Anyway, and then of those hardtop orders, so they're only 14% of the 9,200 orders unscheduled are 2-doors, which is not that many. So their capacity is 15% for the entire year. So there you go. That's that. 24 model year Maverick, they are doing cleanup scheduling. Now, cleanup kind of means that they have some open slots. So they might look at it and go, you know what? We got all of our XLs, we got all of our Lariats, we need XLTs, we need EcoBoost orders. So whatever slots that they need to fulfill, that's what they're going to open up. And also, if any dealer still has allocations not fulfilled, that's also they're cleaning up those allocations so they don't have to carry over to the next month. They are scheduling for weeks 11 or November 6th through the weeks of November 27th. All right. It does say exhausted availability on XL. So actually, this is actually something we're going to talk about as part of the Is It True? So there's a rumor going out that they're not producing XLs or making XLs until December. We'll let you know if that's true or not during that section. But this is saying exhausted availability, so I think people are reading into that. But yes, so there's 41,000 orders in the order bank. Not that many. We're talking less than half of a model year production number in orders. That's not that many, but it doesn't sound like a lot, but there's still more Maverick. And some people are like, well, the demand on the Maverick is low. Not necessarily, because there's still more Maverick orders than any other model year and any other model, I should say. So even when you look at it, because all these order banks, a lot of these 24 model year order banks just opened up. So you would think they'd all have these numbers, but Maverick has the most unscheduled orders, and it's not because of production numbers. Super Duty is next, Bronco, right? But still, Maverick has more orders in the order bank than any other model. So I don't think it's down. I think it's still going. So limit availability for the 2.5 hybrid, also for the splash guards. That's for the front and rear. Also for the XL and XLT tire, the optional tire that's available, and exhausted availability for the tonneau cover hard trifold. So there you go. Some things to note: there is the capacity of hybrids of what they can build is 55%. Is what they're giving us as a number. And then unscheduled orders, 68% of the unscheduled orders are hybrid. So I know that you're probably looking at those numbers, and I know this is something that I'm probably going to actually, I'm going to bypass this and talk about it later. But that number's not skewed. We're going to talk about that during the Is It True? So hopefully you guys hold on and come and stay tuned for that, because I'm going to enlighten you a little bit about that, about how these numbers and these sheets that people are putting out on social media, how if they don't explain what that all means, can look like it's a negative. But in this case, it's not. They can make every hybrid that's in the order bank. So keep that in mind as well. And then 40% of the orders in the order bank are XL, 23% XLT, 29% or 21% Lariat trim. So there you go. All right. And the order banks are open up for the Maverick as well as for the 24 Bronco. So forgot to mention that. 23 Explorer order banks is closed. There's 260 orders, unscheduled orders in the order bank, and of that, 2% are hybrid. So they are scheduling for build weeks, the week of October 30th through the week of November 27th. They're trying to do any cleanup scheduling for anybody that has open allocations available. So it does say dealers will have the ability to submit stock orders for the remainder of 23 model year. So if you have allocations as a dealer, you earn them. You don't have any retail orders. They're going to allow you to put stock orders in so you can fulfill those allocations that you have earned. It does say the base 100A, though, don't forget, is retail only, so you won't be able to order that. All right, so here's some things as they're trying to finish things out. Here's the options that are balanced out for the rest of the model year for 23, and that is Atlas Blue, the Jewel Red, and they're actually saying diamond red tri-coat. So I think it's the same color.
Mm-hmm.
The 3.3 liter hybrid engine, as well as the rear seat entertainment system. So looks like if you have a hybrid order, you're not going to get it. So you better put in a 24 when it opens up, which is coming up soon, middle of October. Actually, it's on here. I can probably tell them. All right, we'll get into that. Exhaust availability would be the ST line as well as the XLT Sport Appearance Package. So not a 0, but slim chance. Limited availability for these options, and it's actually a pretty extensive list. So let's go through these. We have the 3.3 liter V6 engine, the 2.3 liter EcoBoost engine, the limited trim, I should say, platinum trim, XLT trim, King Ranch trim, 4-wheel drive, the high performance brakes, the class 4 trailer tow package, the ST high performance package, and the twin panel moonroof. So hopefully you don't have any of those on your orders. There's only 260 orders, so sure, everything's pretty clean there. And the 24 model year order banks are supposed to open up October 16th.
Mm-hmm.
It's on your scheduling notes, folks. So anyway, so that's coming up. 24 model year Expedition. They are scheduling, again, cleaning up any open allocations. There's 676 unscheduled orders in the order bank. Those are retail orders, by the way. Those aren't stock. So they are scheduling for the week of November 27th. Platinum will require the optional 22-inch wheel. And also Platinum units must include the multi-contoured seat removal. That didn't take long. So actually, we talked about that last week too. No availability on the short wheelbase, only the long wheelbase, which is weird because last year it was the other way around for part of the year. Exhaust availability for these certain options: the Timberline trim, the King Ranch trim, and then also those with the 301A and 302A with mahogany seats as well, and then the wheel option 64X, which is an 18-inch aluminum wheel, which is standard on the STX and the XLT. And then it does say best configuration available is the limited with the long wheelbase and the optional wheel for the 302A. And then also platinum long wheelbase with the optional wheel. So keep that in mind if you're looking to get one scheduled. That's the best configurations. But with only 676 orders and the order banks open up, it shouldn't take long to get yours scheduled, though. Also, another best configuration is the STX with the optional wheel and the XLT with the optional wheel and long wheelbase. So that was on page 2. Didn't see that. Okay. All right. Moving to the 24 model year Super Duty. There's 26,000 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Super Duty. And here's some capacities to think about. So King Ranch, they build that at about a 4% capacity, which means 4% of all their built Super Duties will be King Ranch. 5% will be Platinum. 2% will be Limited. 21% Lariat. 10% Tremor package. And 10% the high output diesel engine. 57% of the orders in the order bank, unscheduled orders, have the high output diesel. I'd encourage you to maybe look at the other diesel. It's been a good diesel. You can always do that. Also, it also can maybe look at doing a Lariat trim as well. If you have one of those luxury trims, see if Lariat will be okay for you. Otherwise, there's 22% of the orders, unscheduled orders in the order bank are King Ranch, 27% are Platinum, and 11% are Limited. So those customers, it's going to take a while to get their scheduled. Just be patient. So, in Tremor package, 13% of the orders in there are Tremor, 10% capacity. That's not too bad. It's a little off. Now, let's go ahead and go through some of the other weekly constraints, though, as we talk about this. Scheduling production weeks at Kentucky will be for their scheduling for the weeks of October 23rd to November 6th. But in Ohio, they're scheduling for the weeks of October 30th to November 27th. King Ranch and Platinum will be 100% multi-contoured seat. It means there's no problem with you don't have to remove those multi-contoured seats. They have the parts in for them for that lower capacity. All chassis cab orders will require the upfitting integration system. for 24 model year. So there was some confusion on this last week. Some people were asking about that. Do you mean the removal? No, they're saying that the chassis cabs do need to have the upfit integration system on those orders. It's actually standard equipment, but there was a removal. Do not have the removal on there. They need to have that. They need to have the integration system on there. Limited availability on King Ranch and Platinum. Exhaust availability on F350s, F550s, Lariat, and Limiteds. Again, as we've seen last week, we saw some people that got scheduled for the limited trims. We saw people with F350s get scheduled. So again, this is what they're giving us as notes, but it's not necessarily always what happens. So again, it could be within your region. Your region could say, hey, you know what? Here's what we have available. So let's give it to them, but the other regions could be exhausted completely. So, yeah, anyway, so that's just a note we're going off of here. Limit availability for the following options. There's quite a few. The 6.7 liter high output Power Stroke diesel engine. As I said, that's, when they say limited, they're saying as we mentioned earlier, 10%. So, yeah. And I think that's probably what they're probably talking about is when we look at that capacity numbers, that's why they're saying exhausted, because there's only 4%, 5%, 2%. That's probably why those are included there. The 7.3 liter gas engine is listed under limited availability. The 18-inch sparkle silver painted cast aluminum wheel as well, that's standard on the XLT, is on there. 20-inch chrome wheel, which is standard on the chrome package on the King Ranch. And then also the 18-inch bright machined and carbonized gray painted wheel, which is standard on the Lariat trim. So if you get the Lariat, you'll want to go to the optional wheel if you want to get scheduled. The LK frame, which is optional on the F550 600 with a diesel and 7.3. And then also 148 3-inch dually wheelbase without the payload package. Also the GBK frame, which is optional on the F350 two-wheel drives with the 7.3. It says 7.3 diesel, so I don't know if it's 7.3 gas or the diesel engine. So they need to correct that. And also the 145-inch dually wheelbase as well as the single rear wheel, 145-inch wheelbase. The 193-inch wheelbase that's optional on the XL and XLT 450, 550, 600 chassis cabs is limited. Again, limited doesn't mean zero. It's just a small number. Low running frame GA, which is available on the F350 with the 7.3 gas engine or all diesel engines and the 145-inch wheelbase, as well as a low running frame PB, which is available on the 450s and 550s with the 7.3 gas engine or all diesel engines, 179-inch wheelbase and dual rear wheel. And then lastly, the Baja interior, which is optional on the XL and XLT, is limited. Now, exhausted availability, I mentioned some already up above, but here is a list of others. The TGL wheel, that's basically the standard wheel in the F450, that is exhausted, which is probably why the F450s having issues up above. The HBK frame, which is optional on the F350 two-wheel drives with the 7.3. Again, I mentioned 7.3 diesel. I don't know. And 169-inch wheelbase. Also, the 205-inch wheelbase that's optional on the XL, XLT, 450, 550, and 600 chassis cabs. The Dana Axle M315 rear, which is optional on the F350, 450, and 600 dualies with the 6.7 diesel engine. And then the 360-degree camera, the dual beacon LED strobe light at the amber. Actually, I think that's two different options there. Also, the fifth wheel and gooseneck hitch prep package. It says not available with the drop-in liner or the bed mat. Which, yeah, we know that. That option is exhausted. Heavy-duty alternator, which is standard on the XL gas. It says replace it with one of the other ones, which is options 67B, 67D, or 67E. The transfer case that's standard on the F600 4x4s with the 7.3 gas, I got that right, or the 6.7 diesel engine, and then 193-inch wheelbase or 205-inch wheelbase for the chassis cabs. And then the fifth wheel hitch kit. There you go. That is also if it's optional. If it's standard, don't worry about it. It does say not an option on the F250 and F350 King Ranch Platinum and Limited. So there you go. Order banks are open up for that, though. There you go. And then no, I got a gnat. Did I get it? I think I got it. All right. Ultra Nation is bothering them. It's the streamers, I tell you what. All right. The 23 F-150, it has 1,500 orders in the order bank. Not a lot. That's well more than what they can do in a month, or even in a week, probably. They are scheduling for the weeks of December 11th and the week of December 18th. Don't forget to go get those in. Order banks are closed. Thought I got it. Guess not. All right. Order banks are open up for the 24 model year, except for Tremor and the Pro Access tailgate. Those are late availability items. So there you go. 23 model year F-150 Lightning. There's a note in here. I don't think it's right. So I'm not. So they're scheduling for the weeks of December 11th and December 18th. I believe that's right. There are some things that are copied over from the other from the gas F-150, so I won't talk about that because I don't know if that's right. But it does say in here that the 24 model year order bank could be opening up in October. So I guess hopefully we'll get some information on that tomorrow. We do have some information for October scheduling, which is November and December's information for production, which against December is always a bad month for production. But so we'll see. We'll find out about that. So there you go. Order banks right now, from what I know of, are open, and here it says they closed on the 21st.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's true. I tried putting in an order. When was the 21st? Thursday? I tried putting an order on Friday, I think, and I put it in. So, all right. 23 model year Mach-E is not scheduled this week. There's only 61 unscheduled orders in the order bank, and I don't know the number on F-150 Lightning. And by the way, 85% of those 61 are the standard range LFP battery. There you go. All right. And order banks are open up for the 23, I think, still. But it does say in here, 24 model year opens up 10/16. So we could be getting some information on the Mach-E's and the Lightnings real soon. So, and I believe the 23 model year or 24 model year Lightning will be the same body style as well as the 23 Mach-E or 24 Mach-E as the current. Don't think either one of them are getting any kind of refresh. So I know we've seen 24 gas get, look, but if you look, we do know that the 24 model year F-150 Platinum Black Edition is available, and we see that it doesn't look any different than 23. Yeah. So we believe that's going to stay to that body style for another year. Typically, they go 3 years before a refresh. So 23 model year Transit Connect van and wagon, they are scheduling for weeks in the weeks of November 6th through December 18th, which is be their balance out. So dealers that have allocations, 300 orders in the order bank is all they have. So they're almost done there. Right. 23 model year Transit, 11,000 orders in the order bank for that. So, and they're scheduling for the weeks of November 6th through December 4th. I think that's their balance out. 24 model year Transit order banks are open up right now. So some things to note there. So we'll go through these here and we'll wrap up scheduling. So the 3.5 V6 Cyclone engine, that's engine option 99.8, is orders needed to from dealers with remaining non-BEV commodity allocations. So that Cyclone engine is pretty well, they have enough of those. They can make those. It's people that have the EcoBoost that they're struggling with. Also, the high-res camera temporarily available for stock orders. So if you have a stock, don't have any orders, retail orders, not sure who does. I think everybody has retail orders, but in case you don't, you need a stock order. That is temporarily available now for stock. It does say, please consider that power sliding door is not available for 24 model year. There you go. All right. And limited availability for these options. The high roof jumbo bus, the high roof long bus, the low roof van, the 3.5 EcoBoost engine, which is engine 99G, the 360-degree camera, the high-res camera, which is option 61E, and that 360 camera is option 61D. The Sync 4 with the Sirius XM and satellite, and the with the 360L, option 58F is limited. Option 58U, the AM/FM stereo with a 4-inch multifunction display. The Transit Trail package. The digital rear view mirror, option 90C. Also, the 10-way power driver and passenger ebony leather, option 21S, as well as a 10-way power driver and passenger ebony cloth, option 21R, and the 10-way power driver and passenger dark palazzo gray cloth, option 21Q. So it sounds like to me you're not getting a power seat for the rest of the year. Well, it says limited availability, so we know how that works. Balance out options are these. So that means, so when we say balance out, it means there's not a chance on these. So that's not exhausted. It's no chance. So depopulated key fob, the power running boards, the side 40/60 barn doors, all crew van body types, and the Transit 350 heavy duty dually cutaway chassis cab cargo vans. And then not available for stock orders is the 3.5 EcoBoost, as well as the 360-degree camera for your ICE orders. There you go. Is it raining? Oh, maybe it's the AC. There you go. That is our scheduling for this week. Now I got to try to get used to looking over there. Yeah. Any questions about that?
Did we go over... What is it?
I know it's a little confusing, exhausted versus limited.
Yeah.
I mean, it does sound like, hey, if it says exhausted, that means that for this week, they can't schedule anymore. And that's what the implications is from the dealer. But we've seen some people get their schedule. So it's kind of like the lottery. There might be a chance. So, you know, that what's that comedy show? So you're saying there's a chance. Is that Dumb and Dumber?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Alex Moutre says, I have just one question. Is there any constraints now on Super Duty trimmers? I was told not scheduling anymore till last spring.
Okay. No, there's not a constraint. So again, that's where people get confused. So trimmers aren't scheduling as many. So again, the number is 10% on that. So, you know, it's going to just take a little while. So they are scheduling trimmers. So there you go.
Do they build the F-150 every day? I think I heard you say they were scheduled for October and November.
So they're scheduling for dates in that right now. So they're taking orders and they only schedule. They don't schedule out their whole year at once.
Mm-hmm.
So they're scheduling, you know, we schedule a month at a time. Most models will schedule, you know, like in the month of September. Look over there. Month of September, they'll schedule for, you know, for most models 2 months in advance. So September, they're scheduling for November build dates. But on the F-150, they schedule usually about a month out. So they're scheduling for October, some November build dates. So, and they are going to be producing F-150s into December.
Mm-hmm.
So the 23, and then they'll kick over middle of December.
Is the Maverick door number keypad still deleted? They now have that as
it's a DIO.
DIO.
Yeah, which I talked to the guy that sets up our vehicles, and he's real happy about that. Sarcastic. So here's the deal with that is that, you know, like I've said in the past, is so the factories are trying to produce more vehicles, and to do that, they're taking some options that take them maybe a little time for them to put in and let the dealers put them in. The problem is they're not paying the dealerships what they deserve and what it takes to actually put that part in. Tony was telling me, he said, you know, when Maverick had those touch light systems, it took him 8 hours to install, and they gave him like 2 hours for that. After he got good at it, he could get it down to, he said he got it down to like 3 hours, but it still takes him 3 hours to get that put in, you know. So there you go. Oh, Mitch
hopped in for a minute.
Cool. Glad to have him in. Got a chance to spend some time with him at Detroit, and he is truly a good guy. So one of those good dealers. So trying to help the community out and educate them. So
the 10 chats. I'm not sure what you mean, Richard, saying F350 trimmer platinum 6.7 high output, no sunroof.
So he's probably asking what the chances are. Well, we saw a platinum number. When we start combining those together, you got a platinum there. That's what was it, 5% or something, 4 or 5%. The trimmer, 10%. So now, so they kind of, those percentages are just with those packages. So you have a platinum trimmer, that's going to be difficult. Lariat trimmer, now you're 10%. You higher capacity on the being a lariat. So that platinum trimmer with the 6.7 high output, that might take a little while to get scheduled.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you that. So, but
all right,
don't kill the messenger.
all right. I have one more. If I'm assigned a build week and a VIN for Super Duty, does that mean that the parts are available for my build?
Oh, if you have a VIN, then okay. So I know that Ford customer support will tell people, oh, well, we don't have the parts to build yours yet. Well, that's not the way that works. They get parts on hand for what they need. They schedule orders based on what parts availabilities they have in their capacity to be able to put those on. But technically, yes, if you have a VIN number, then they have the parts to build your vehicle. It will get built. You will get a build week. That's when it should get built.
Now, sometimes you'll see vehicles with VINs getting pushed back. That usually means that a part that they had ordered that they were promised
by the supplier
didn't come through
Yep.
like they had planned. And so then it gets pushed back until they have that supply
again. Or the plant got down and they removed everybody's back, right?
Yes.
Maybe it had an issue with the line. They had to stop it for an hour or two. That may push some of your orders back because they can't then fulfill all those that day. So they got to push everybody's back. So that's an option too.
Scheduling is probably based off of not exactly what they have per se, but what they plan to have for that month.
Yes, because we're talking 2 months out for some of these. So what they're doing is they have suppliers that are guaranteeing that they'll have these parts available, for this time for out. And so then that's how they can plan and schedule is based on that.
Yep.
Now, when some of these with these factories having with the UAW strike and everything, and then again, we got to remember these are assembly plants. They're assembling these vehicles by parts that are given by suppliers. Those suppliers are smaller than the factories are with smaller amount of workers. Well, if Ford's saying, hey, sorry, we don't need any of the hardtops, what's going to happen to some of those smaller plants? So some of those smaller suppliers, they may have to lay them off. And then they lay them off so long, they might actually have to close. And then who's going to provide us with these? And it's not affecting just the big three. Some of these suppliers make those different parts for all manufacturers.
Yeah.
Right. We'll see how it plays out, but hopefully it gets resolved quickly.
But usually if you have a VIN, that means that they plan to have the parts to produce that.
Yes.
And you should be able to get produced unless they have something happens to their supply.
Yeah. Right now, it is, but like if they're the same ones that supply to those other factories.
Yep.
Who knows?
So,
but Super D is one that they only schedule like a month in advance, so you should be good to go there.
Yeah. All right, that was all I had for scheduling.
Alrighty. I was gonna look at some things here. Okay. All right, so just kind of update. So we know, Bronco Sport. So for 24 model year, Bronco order banks are open up. Job one, or when they're going to start building them, is still going to be December, January. Who knows? It could be later. Now, Bronco Sport order banks are open up. They're going to start producing the January or the first ones that have already been scheduled for the week of October 16th. Edge, we know order banks are open up. They've already started building the 24s. We've already actually received them. 24 Escape order banks are open up. They're going to start building the 24s the week of November 13th. Expedition order banks are open up. They're already producing 24s. We've actually received some of our first ones. Explorer order bank is supposed to open up the week somewhere around 10/17. So I hate giving definite date, but they didn't show us in here that it's 10/17, but it could be somewhere around that time frame. It could be the 18th, it could be the 19th, but somewhere around there, with job 1 starting the 1st of January. So actually probably the 2nd of January. F-150 order banks for gas hybrid are open up for 24 model year. I don't have a job 1 date yet on that, when they're going to start making those. The Lightning, we think it's somewhere in December is when the order banks open up. More than likely, 24 model year won't start building until December, though. We believe mach-e will be the same way for 24 because of the Model E, or the Model E new system going out. Maverick order banks for 24 are open up for gas and hybrid, and they're going to start 24 model year production the week of October 16th. They're already scheduled orders out into November at this point. Mustang 24 is open up. They've already been making those. We got several showed. One sitting. I'm looking at one right now in the showroom. Ranger order banks are open up right now. Job 1 is to be determined at this point. It was supposed to be the week that they closed the plant, or they went on strike. Super Duty order banks are open up for 24 model year. Kentucky truck plant vehicles that are being built there will start the week, start producing 24s the week of October 7th, with Ohio starting the week of October 30th. And then Transit Connect orders are open up. We don't know when they're going to start building those. Sometime in December, I think. So there you go. I just update my little spreadsheet, so I want to make sure I had that. Yep. There you go. Okay. Moving on to our dealer news updates. I don't really have much. I only have one.
Ooh.
So let's throw a clip in here. So the only dealer news update I have here is for the 24 model year Escape. So the order bank is closing already for the base trim. So the base trim, which was a retail only order, is now, well, October 7th is closing. So if you want to put in a Escape base model order in, you have till October 2nd. So get that order in, and it's going to close for the rest of the model year. That is a trim level that's going away. We're seeing, I wouldn't really be surprised if on the 24 model year Explorer, we don't see a base trim. So we're starting to see that more and more. And they're going to start using that one for fleet 100%. So, which is what they should be doing on Maverick, on the XL, in my opinion. But there you go. All right. Now, recalls, on the other hand, I got some. A lot of these are just customer satisfaction ones. So let's move on to recalls. All right, so let's get into these recalls. We have a bunch of them are customer satisfaction ones. So this first one is customer satisfaction program 23B, as in boy, 20. This is on 23 model year F-150 Raptor R vehicles, equipped with the 5.2. Of course, they'd be equipped with the 5.2 liter supercharged and a 10-speed automatic. There's a missing or loose number 6 bell housing transmission to engine bolt. Only 881 vehicles are affected by this. So, of course, it pretty much tells us it's missing a bolt, right? So, in some of these affected vehicles, one of the transmission to engine bolts may be loose or missing, reducing the clamp force between the engine and transmission. If the transmission loosens from the engine over time, it may result in a progressive powertrain noise and vibration, and could eventually lead to a brake, flex plate, or a transmission fluid leak. So the letters are going to go out the week of October 2nd. So that's next week. So you'll know by next week, you'll know whether or not your vehicle has been affected. It should also show up in Ford Pass, I would assume. All right. Next one is a compliance recall. And this is a demonstration and delivery hold too. So this is on compliance recall 23C26 for 23 model year Edges. It does say that this is only, or 8,523 vehicles are affected by this. Most of these should be at dealers. They're not building 23s anymore. So the reason for this recall is the right headlamps on all of the affected vehicles may not conform to the requirements specified by the federal federal motor vehicle safety standard. So a non-compliant lamp that exceeds a 108 photometric gotta say that requirements, or a non-compliant lamp that is misaimed may cause glare to other road users, increasing the risk of a crash, of course. Letters are going to go out next week on that one as well. So there you go. This next one is a customer satisfaction program, 23B17, for 22 model year Mustang GT 500 and 23 model year F-150 Raptor R vehicles. These are about 2,152 vehicles are affected by this. In fact, there's several recalls for these same two vehicles to go over. This in here is basic reason for this is in some of the affected vehicles may exhibit an engine front cover oil leak caused by excessive movement of the front crankshaft, front main seal, and a valve cover leak caused by a loose spark plug seal. So anyway, so letters are going to go out next week on this one as well for you. So, and the next one is on the same vehicles. This one is Customer Satisfaction Program 23B25 for those same 22 model year GT 500 and 23 F-150 Raptor Rs. This, in though, affects 4,240 vehicles, and does say in some of the affected vehicles may exhibit an engine valve cover oil leak around the spark plug wells caused by excessive movement of the spark plug seals. So two different things here. Your vehicle might have both. So just keep that in mind on those. And letters are going to go out for both of those next week. So there you go. All right. This one has to do with just 23 model year F-150 Raptor Rs. This is a customer satisfaction program 23B19. 1,308 vehicles affected by this. So in some of the affected vehicles, the front axle vibration bumper may have been installed improperly. A customer with an improperly installed vibration bumper may experience audible noise, vibration, and harshness issues while operating the vehicle under certain 4x4 or off-roading conditions. So this in here, the letters are going to go out next week on this one as well. So, all right. So those that have a Raptor R Mustang GT 500, be looking for that next week. So, oh, we're not done yet. Got one more on those vehicles. So this applies to 23 model year 5.2 liter F-150 Raptor Rs and Mustang GT 500s. Again, this is customer satisfaction program 23B18. Affects 4,964 vehicles. And in some of the affected vehicles, the engine, head, rear cup plugs may not have been properly installed. An improperly installed cup plug could result in an engine coolant leak, which may progress to a malfunction indicator light. If left unchecked, the engine may overheat and enter into a reduced performance state. So again, letter for this will go out next week. So I think I've covered all the Raptor Rs. So if you got a Raptor R, you might have some issues there, but we'll get them all fixed for you for free, taken care of by your dealer. So this next one is an emission recall 23E09 for 2020 to 2022 Escape hybrids, 21 to 22 Corsair hybrids, and 22 to 23 Maverick hybrids. 139,557 affected by this, and this does have a delivery hold on this if you're one of those. And it does say reason for this emission recall is in the affected vehicles, the air fuel enrichment calibration is not functioning as intended due to a powertrain software error. The emissions control system might not be able to maintain the vehicle emissions at optimal levels when the vehicle is driven at maximum speed or when the vehicle is driven at a maximum speed set by the customer in the mach-e feature. So anyway, this in here, letters are going to go out the week of December 18th. So that's a little ways. Again, this is an advance notice. Some service departments may not be aware of this in here. So this is a reprogram powertrain control module. So they'll have to reprogram that for you guys. So there you go. Not sure if you can go in and have that recall done yet. Actually, technical instructions are available, so you could probably go and get that done. So there you go. So I think I'm going to skip this one because I think the next one has to do with the this other one here. This is a special field action, which means it's just for dealers. It's not necessarily a recall. 23L04 for 22 model year Maverick vehicles equipped with the hybrid motor. So there's 109 vehicles affected by this. So a very small number that were built between August 30th of 22 through August 31st of 22. So just those 2 days. So you might look at your build dates. But the letters are going to go out to owners the week of January 8th for this one. And the reason for this in here is in affected vehicles, the VECI label lists are incorrect. EPA test group lists an incorrect EPA test group. So dealers are to install a corrected label directly over the existing label on affected vehicle inventory. So this doesn't affect the performance of your vehicle. It just needs a new label. So there you go.
All right.
And then lastly, last one I have here. This one is on this is safety recall 23S23. We've talked about already. This is the second supplemental update to this recall on 2020 to 2023 Explorer and Aviators and 2020 to 2022 Corsair vehicles. This is the so 443,306 vehicles are affected by this. And this is the one with the camera issue. So some of the affected vehicles, customers may intermittently experience a rear camera blue image or a full black or blue image on the sync screen when the vehicle is placed in reverse, or when the 360-degree camera view is selected and available during low-speed operation. So this is the one that we've been kind of talk about. This one's been out for a little while, and now the reason for this supplement guide is that the repair is now available. So if you do have that vehicle, in fact, we have 5 vehicles on a recall right now. I think 5 Explorers. So now we can get this done. Actually, let them know about that today in our meeting. That I don't think Service was even aware of yet. So the repair is now available. So you can have that. The technical instructions are available for your technicians and service departments. Allowance for labor and everything is also included in this recall, as well as the parts requirements and ordering information. So they'll probably have to order the parts, but it looks like the parts are available. So actually, that's in pretty good timing because I think at the dealer meeting they said by October.
Yes.
Good job, Ford. Yeah, hit a deadline. There you go. So there you go. Those are the different recalls that we have for this week. And it seems like a lot of those are ones that some things you just want to hedge off, but some of those, especially that Explorer one, is a recall we've been waiting on for that fix, and it's available now. So that's exciting. That's good. So we can start selling those Explorers because we have several on our lot that have the do not sell recall. We can even demonstrate them and everything. So now we should be able to help with that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions?
1 or 2.
I've had people tell me that you should talk more.
Oh,
so
I should.
We might have to give these some of the stuff. I had to do recalls for a while, but
we're mostly talking about Halloween.
I think Sarah enjoys in the chat with you guys more than she.
I do talk. Okay, so I don't talk out loud, but I do talk in the chat.
That's right. For those of you that are watching this, a lot of them watch the scheduling information. They say you should let Sarah chat. So that's why we kind of went to the others. So that if people are just watching just the scheduling video, because we do break that out. The scheduling recalls we break out into separate videos for you guys on Wednesdays. So if you rather like, hey, I just want to get this information and jet out of the live stream. If you want it live, you watch it with us live.
Yeah.
But if you're just wanting that and you can watch it whenever and you can wait till Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon, we separate those out. But Sarah usually doesn't talk in those.
Nope.
So, but when we were doing it like this, then people were like, she needs to talk more. She's just sitting there. So,
but I am talking. It's just
in the chat.
In the chat.
So, anyway, there we go.
No, well, they're saying someone needs to pay the heat bill. Poor Sarah's forever having to blanket.
It's actually not cold in here.
It's not. It's not. I just have poor circulation. and get cold sitting still for more than 10 minutes.
I will say that it's warmer here than it is in my old office.
Yes,
so.
yes, it's so much warmer where we're sitting now. Even at my desk, it's so much warmer.
Yes,
but
it is. So, all right.
No, we're talking about Halloween. It lands on a Tuesday.
Yes, we're gonna be at SEMA on Monday.
And Tuesday, I'm taking my boys trick or treating.
Yes.
Well, they said
in
that
Kansas, not in.
yeah, no,
That you could bring the kids. We could just trick or treat in Vegas.
we're not doing that.
They probably don't want your kids seeing some of the costumes on this trip.
No. I mean, they're young enough; they don't get it
Why
yet.
are they wearing their pajamas, mommy?
I mean, they're young enough; they wouldn't really get it.
Well,
like,
Thea
why is she wearing?
Thea wouldn't even know what's going on.
Will would just be like, "Why are they wearing their swimsuits?"
He would tell them they're wearing their own stuff. Okay. Anyway.
But no, they said they'll let us take the kids trick or treating that night and reschedule if we do a short with costumes, which we will probably do for members.
I think we do a lot of fun videos for our members, so we enjoy doing that for our members, so we like that. All right. Are we ready for Is It True?
Yeah.
All right.
Every day is Halloween in Vegas.
Yeah, every day's Halloween. That's right. Any day you can be
anything you want.
You can be Iron Man or Spider-Man in Vegas. All right. And people will pay you. I don't even charge for a photo with myself, but if I was in Vegas wearing a Spider-Man costume, I'd charge you. No, just kidding. Anyway, you haven't been to Vegas, have you?
No, I have not.
You're in for a treat.
Neither has Leo.
I've been too many times. All right. Okay. I do enjoy the Bellagio fountains though, and the Mirage volcanoes and everything. So I enjoyed those aspects of it, but having to walk through the crowds.
I've always wanted to go to Vegas just for the fact that I've watched your videos of the Bellagio fountain, that I want to see it in person.
Yeah, I could watch the fountains all the time. Okay. All right. For this week's Is It True? So we did have someone that commented in one of our videos that said that they had heard that the Maverick XL won't start production until December for the Maverick XL trim. And that is not true. So, and I got confirmation of this information, which I pretty much knew the fact. So here is, I'm not going to read probably everything in here, but the Maverick has XL orders scheduled for production in every build week through November 30th at this time, and will continue into December and beyond. So again, we know the percentage of what they're scheduling is a low number. What was that number? I had it. Let me pull that back out. For the Maverick. For the Maverick, so that number for XL is 23%. So 23% of the Mavericks built will be XL trim. So don't forget that. And 29% will be XLT, 25% will be Lariat. So that number on XL has actually gone up. So we do have some people we know that have, they have a carryover 23 to 24 Maverick XL order that haven't been scheduled. And that's the other question is, why aren't they being prioritized? They should be prioritized over other people's orders. And what I need to say to them is that they are within your dealership's allocations. So you have to look at that. So getting on social media and saying in the Maverick Truck Club and such that, hey, I put in a new 24 model year order with a dealer on an XL and I got scheduled, right? So then people that had a carryover order are furious. They're like, that's not right. Ford said they're going to prioritize my order. And they are within the dealership allocation system. Mm-hmm. That's the way it works. And it may not seem right or seem fair or anything like that, but it is being done that way. And something to take note of, I know that people post the commodity reports on different sites, whether it be Maverick Truck Club, whether it be the Bronco 6G, different places like that. I actually have mentioned it several weeks ago, probably more like a month ago now, that how you read that report. So I was even reading them wrong. So when you look at that first column that they show you in that report is the column of their capacity for the year. So on this one, as we mentioned, for the Maverick, the XL capacity on the XL, or the XL capacity is 23%. That's for the full year. So if you figure out that they can build, let's say, let's just throw 23, let's say 100,000 vehicles is what they're going to build for the year, right? So 23% of that, what is that? 23,000. So they're going to build 23,000 XLs for the entire year. There's 41,000 unscheduled orders. That's going to happen. They're going to build every XL this year. Same way with any of the others. So hybrid engine, their capacity is 55%. 55% of 100. We're just throwing out 100,000. We know they build more than that, or they should. So that's 55,000 hybrids that will be built this year. There's 41,000 orders in the order bank. Every hybrid will be built. So if you see on that right column where it says 68%, what that means is 68% of the unscheduled orders in the order bank are hybrid, not necessarily 68% of the 100,000 for the year. So that's why sometimes I don't like when we see some of these things and Ford says, hey, don't post these on social media. By the way, the commodity report is a confidential report that you should not be putting on there. And if you're somebody that does post those, I know there's some great reliable people and they're doing it for your help. And a lot of them, some of them will, like Tommy, I know, will give you that information of what this means and explains it. But there are some out there that do not. And that's where, you guys get frustrated and you get angry and you get upset. But so I like to make sure you guys know that. So if you're not sure of something you see out there, tag me. I'll help explain things so that we can make it reasonable. And so that way you guys can understand what's going on and be educated on it for you, so that help you out as much as I can. But so that's how that works. So when you see those two different columns, those columns are percentages of two different starting numbers, or starting denominator, right? Because a percentage it's math, right? A percentage is a fraction. So 23% is 23 over 100, right? So that's a fraction. So that bottom number, that one that you're basing that percentage off of, or multiplication, whatever, is off of two different numbers. One is off of the scheduled or unscheduled orders, where the other one is for the entire whole production year number. So want to make sure we make that clear when we see that. Sometimes those numbers can change from month to month. And I think actually they're not looking at that actually for the year, but they're looking at it for the production month, because those do change from month to month. So any questions about that? Hopefully I've explained that a little bit. Bronco's the same way. When we look at that, like on the hybrid, we know the hybrid production is 3%, but the orders, and that's 3% of, right, the monthly or the yearly, capacity, right, or production. But 16% of the unscheduled orders in the order bank are hybrid, or the Heritage Edition. So that's two different numbers we're basing it off of. So hopefully that explains some things there. So there you go. All right. Anything else before we move into, I don't know if we still got Niles on here or not, but into the.
You hear, Niles?
We're going to move into some of the accessories you guys might be getting.
Yeah, he said Vegas was a culture shock.
Yes, sir. Niles, you want the link? Do you want to jump in here on video? I don't know if we can get this to work right, but do we have that? How do we send that to him? How do we get that link?
He says, sure.
Invite.
All right.
Here it is. Copied. All right, we'll send that to Niles here. Via email. I'll send it to your email.
While you're doing that, when you pick up your vehicle, if it's a brand new Ford vehicle, you'll get Ford Pass points. You get 42,000, which roughly equals about $200, or 2 oil changes. You can use those points not on the purchase of that vehicle, but in the future, if you purchase another vehicle, you can use them on that, or any aftermarket accessories, or of course, your service work.
Yep. All right. Set that on. All right. Okay. So we'll get Niles in here. So we were going to talk about because this kind of came up as an idea because we have 107 Mavericks that are supposed to show up. Actually, we had a couple show up today, and like 80 Super Duties that are supposed to show up coming up, as well as possibly even another 80 F-150s. So yeah, so that's a lot of vehicles there. So yeah. So all right, I want to
Yes,
actually
you missed that part, RagnarCon.
So
You did. Did he miss all of the hundreds of ways you cannot build a Super Duty this week?
Yeah,
you missed it. Good job.
Yeah. All right. I think we got an audio here on our mic too.
I was gonna say, can I hear?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yay!
Hopefully, it's not coming back through the speakers, so we don't have to wear headphones.
Someone tell us if you can hear Niles. Twice.
Yeah, if you can hear him talking twice, let us know, and we'll put headphones in if we need to.
Hopefully, it's only once.
Hopefully, it only.
They say sounds good.
Yeah, we can actually.
I need to be able to hear him.
Oh wait, that's not.
All
right. So Niles.
What's going on, Tim?
Niles is in our. For those of you who don't know, if you're new to the stream, so Niles has been on before. He is in our aftermarket department. So
he's one of our moderators.
Our Law McArthur Performance, what we like to call it, right? Because it's not just aftermarket stuff. Because we do some pretty cool builds, including for those of you who want it, a Ford Video Guy Maverick as well, right?
Yep. Yep.
That's just under $3,000 if you'd like to get one of those that I like. Looks cool. And we're getting graphics.
We did an F-150 for you too, didn't we?
Yes, you did an F-150. About everything I get, you do something to it.
A little bit.
Gotta, I always say if what do we say? If you want to make the truck your car of your dreams, Niles and that department's the ones to look to do that.
I mean, Lebo at least adds window tint to everything we purchase, and then the ceramic to everything we purchase, and.
So we wanted to talk about like floor mats and stuff like that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now share with us being in our aftermarket. We usually sell about 150 vehicles. Probably about 75% of those are trucks.
Yeah.
So share. We're talking Maverick people. Well, Rangers probably won't come too much. We have 0 Rangers. I don't see any coming. But F-150 Super Duties, those trucks that we love to sell in Salina, Kansas, and farming communities. What are some of the favorite things that people get on their trucks?
A lot of what I end up seeing, bed covers, bed liners, bed accessories are really big ones. I see those the most. The bed covers, mainly the hard variety with like the aluminum backing. With the soft like rolling and folding ones, those get sold, but not near as much as the aluminum backed. But then moving up, that's mainly the Maverick ones. Ceramic coat, a lot on the Maverick. I'm seeing on the F-150, we do see a lot of bed accessories, but also I have started seeing a little bit of airbags for towing.
Okay. So you don't want your truck to squat. If you have some weight and you're kind of close to that max, then adding the airbags help.
Yeah. That and then so like we do a lot of level kits, and so when you bring naturally from the factory, the rear of the truck sits higher than the front. When you bring that level kit up, it brings it flat. Next thing you know, when you put anything in the bed of your truck or when you hitch up to it, you'll see the back end come down and your front end is just planted up there. So yeah, it's one of those things we're starting to see a lot of people kind of move over to that, and it also gives you an onboard air compressor, so that's a little bit of convenience too.
Speaking of that, I need one of those.
We can make that happen
for the Bronco.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. We experienced that. The old external rough country one that I have did not air the tires back up.
I keep waiting for you to bring the Bronco out because I have a low tire, and I'm like, when is he gonna bring the Bronco? I want to air up my tire.
Well, that's not attached to the Bronco. I just bring that out.
Oh, okay.
I got an air compressor at home too. Anyway, but yeah, we won't get into Bronco. We're talking trucks here. So, of course, spray and bed liners. Now we know like the 23 Mavericks. A lot of them were removing those bed covers, bed liners. And such. And we're recommending don't do the bed covers. We have seen that does hold up builds getting selected for scheduling. So if you are out there, you have a Maverick order, you're trying to get it scheduled, make sure we would talk about this today. Take off some of those DIOs and those other bed accessories, because Ford can only put so many of those on in a production day, right? But but there's 3,200 dealers in the country, right? And almost all of them put bed covers on.
They all put bed covers on, and there's more technicians at these dealerships than there are people at the factory. So the parts distributors have it, the dealerships have them, they have technicians. It only makes sense.
Yep. Well, Ford puts that out there on the order guide and on build and price that be available, because those are still available through Ford Accessories. And I don't know, I'm not sure why. I think Ford kind of wants to get more into the accessory business and some of that. But
it's a good place to be right now.
Yeah, I've seen even some have told me that it if they can't keep up with the number and the percentage, when the capacity on the bed covers is in the under 10%, then it's an option you probably want to not put on there, because it's going to take it longer to get scheduled. So because it's a low capacity, you guys put them on just fine. So, and then spraying liners, protecting the bed. So
absolutely.
I know a lot of those Mavericks, they took the spraying, a lot of them, they took it out of those packages. And now they're in the 24s, so we'll see less of those. But you're gonna get a lot of trucks this week, and you were talking, if you sold half of the trucks that come in a spray and liner,
well, half of the Mavericks that come in, that alone will fill our schedule. So yeah, you said the number earlier, and I believe it was
over 100.
Yeah, 100 plus. So if my batting average is even 50%, I've already completely hit capacity. So and that's just Mavericks alone.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be very interesting. And that being said, the more heads up you can give me and as a customer via email, the better, because I can be more prepared and I can have parts on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Especially, like you said, the bed covers and some of those things, because we don't hold a supply of that stuff, because just for room in our upstairs stuff.
They're really large objects already, and then when you have to add the packaging around that, and then the box that goes around that packaging, by the end of it, those bed covers are, for a Maverick, the Maverick bed, it ends up becoming almost a 6-foot long box and like 3.5 feet wide. So it's a huge box.
Yep. So we don't have a lot of room in our warehouse to store a lot of parts for some of that. So but usually, like we always say, once you get scheduled or once you get produced and you get that email that says it's on its way, then contact you and get those things ordered. Right. So
it gives me a bit more of an accurate timeline of when I can expect your vehicle, and I can kind of start putting stuff on the schedule, penciling it in. And when your vehicle gets on the ground, that's when it's more permanent, and I'm able to really lock it in and make things happen.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's see what else. What else to talk about? Bed cover, spraying liners, bed covers, the ceramic
coat, pretty popular item. Paint protection in general. We are an Expel dealer, so we do have them for our window tint and our paint protection. And one of the reasons we did that is because they have a plotter. So we can enter in the year, make, and model of the vehicle, and that allows us to have the cut template. So we just load the roll of blank film, it pulls it out, cuts exactly what we're trying to lay down, and it's perfect every time. So it really kind of helps speed that process up as well.
So the Expel paint protection, that's just to let people know, that's kind of a film that goes on the hood, fenders, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
from rock chips and such.
Yeah, most people would refer to it as a clear bra, stuff like a thin layer of film that goes, like you said, over the impact areas. Main ones I end up seeing a lot over, like the bumper, the grill, the headlights. You can do a hood strip, the entire hood. And then the other one I see a lot of too, believe it or not, is the A-pillars going up the front by the windshield. So you can protect all that. Mirror caps.
Mirrors. Did you mention mirrors?
Yeah, mirror caps. So I call that a front dip. Imagine like if you're dipping a cookie in the glass of milk, dip your Maverick in it. It's a front dip. And then ceramic coat the back half, because those might not get impacted, but they're still subjected to like weather, brake dust, road grime, stuff like that. So
now we are seeing a lot of Maverick customers get the paint, the ceramic.
Yeah, the ceramic.
And so I mean, you've seen is the paint not as thick on those as some of the other vehicles?
Some of the posts on the Maverick Truck Club and things like that, I've seen some paint booth pictures where you have the depth meter that reads the thickness of the paint, and I would like for it to be protected. So I think it's a good idea in some way, in some capacity. It might not have to be a full wrap. It might not have to be ceramic. You can get a wax. We have that option too. So in some capacity, I think you need to protect the paint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can tell you ceramic does help make it easier when you're washing the vehicle.
Yeah.
And then let's see, what else are people getting? The bed liner, or I mean the floor liners. A lot of people are getting those.
Yeah, we do Ford. We have WeatherTech options, and we also are a vendor for Husky. Pretty much any floor mat manufacturer. The one thing I will say is like Husky and WeatherTech, they fold up to kind of capture moisture. Ford is more like folded down and contoured to the edges of the vehicle. I think if you have an eye for the fit and finish of things, you'll enjoy the Ford. If you are more of the durability and want long-lasting floor mats and things like that are going to help protect the vehicle, WeatherTech and Husky are great options.
Yeah, I like the Ford ones.
Yeah,
but I do have the WeatherTech and the Bronco, which are fine too. They're actually, some of them I had like an F-150 one time, and I didn't like how they fit in there. But on the Bronco, they're really good. But they came with my Roush. They came with my Roush kit, so
yeah,
they're basic WeatherTech though.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right.
So we have someone that said, remember, McArthur spray and bed liner covers more bed area than the factory.
That is true. We do cover that top rail. So
Yep. You also remove all the hardware before
that we do
installing it.
Some people ask, what's the big deal about that?
So one of the things, it is a bit different on the Maverick. So one of the reasons that we do it on the F-150 is in the event you ever have to service anything underneath the bed, you still have the ability to remove those bed bolts, and they're not sprayed over and like sealed down. So it helps with maintenance and things like that too. I think it just looks better. It looks classy. It looks factory, and that's we take pride in that. And then the other reason we do that is so that we can help sand some of those areas. The factory, they do a minor scuff. We have an actual like orbital sandpaper bristle brush that we spin up and go through the entire bed. And then Gary hand sands the corners kind of in some of those harder to reach areas. That way that you don't have that. I think it's been a viral video where you see the people just peeling the bed liner straight out in one big even coat. Our adhesion with that is a little bit better. And by getting it underneath the bolts, there's no separation. There's no water gap. There's nothing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we did a video on that.
We did. That was the first one I was in.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was. So it's a time lapse of him going through that process. So check it out. So
something you recently learned about, letters for the back.
Yeah. Everybody wants to fill in the letters. Would it be an F-150 Super Duty or Maverick?
Yeah.
Any of them, right? Got to fill in the letters.
Yeah. That's a pretty popular one. Ford Accessories offers them. I know there's a lot of other people offering them as well.
Sign Pro is going to take his letters and scan them in.
So I got Tough Skin.
Okay.
That's what I got on the front of the Bronco letters. I like it. Kind of more of a bubbled feel to it. Beveled kind of. Well, I don't know. Anyway, but I like the look of it, and the ones I got did not match with my trimmer that I wanted to. The orange on the trimmer. They actually matched really well with the interior, but of the XLT, which I don't have. But yeah, so we have a company that in town that's gonna take that and they're gonna wrap those letters in the colors that I want. So
Yes. So
That's
they
cool.
will also scan them in so that they have the dimensions
yes,
of the letters, so that if anyone
Anybody
in the
else wants-
future wants to go that way, they can do that now.
Yeah.
So once we get that done,
There's a lot of options out there for especially because of the vinyl wrap industry and the sign industry. There's a lot of things that are able to be done with those.
Yeah.
all right. What else? Of course, I mean you can get other things like I did. Hood scoop. We did cab spoiler, tailgate
Yep.
spoilers. There's that stuff. Fender flares. People want to add those or whatever. I mean, we do a lot of different custom packages, and a lot of them include a fender flare or a different wheel, tire option, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, and with our yearly attendance at the SEMA Auto Show, we get a lot of inspiration from the crazy things we see out there. We also make a lot of those great relationships. So while I might not have a vehicle to demonstrate it right now, that doesn't mean I don't have the relationship formed so that we could do it. So if there's something that you have in your imagination you're wanting to do, if it's out there, I might have the connection to it. So those crazy auto shows that you see that at, we go to them. So Tim's at them. So
yeah, we're going to SEMA.
I'm excited.
Any questions in there?
We have some, yeah.
About aftermarket?
Yes.
I feel bad. I've been paying really close attention to our conversation, and I haven't really been looking in the chat. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. That's what I'm here for.
That's what I hire Sarah for.
Oh, that's cool.
All right.
Hire. She's not really a hire.
We'll start with this one.
There you go.
How does the console vault lock? Is it tumbler or key?
I believe there's a master key with a tumbler lock. I know that
you mean to open it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a combination.
Right,
Yeah,
but I believe that there's a key that you can use too.
Yeah,
I think
mine didn't have one of it.
It didn't. I'm trying to remember because I don't know if they're the same for the Maverick rear seat console, the F-150 console, the Super Duty. I think the Super Duty and F-150 consoles are the same, but I know that it's a tumbler lock for sure. The dials with the numbers. There's a master code for that your service department can get if you ever get locked out. So
yeah,
I like that mine's not. It's not a key. So if I ever want to put stuff in there, like my keys, then I don't have to worry about it. But
that's true.
If they get into my car, though, I'm not worried about the keys because at that point they can just hit the button and drive off. So that's not going to really help much.
But other keys, like your house key.
I think the main purpose of that for most people is to put like a gun or something in there.
Conceal carry.
So that people could put something like that in there that they don't want people to, they might get into their vehicle, but they don't want them getting into that.
Because I can tell you with the concealed carry, if you're going across state lines and it doesn't recognize your state's licensing, you have to lock up your weapon and you have to disassemble it and spread it out of your car throughout your car. By putting it in that console vault is not readily available, and you don't have to do as much taking apart. And so, I mean, there's one advantage.
Some states are different than others.
Yes.
But yeah, that, and then I have some people that are they from one place to another they have to carry large lumps of currency. So keep that safe, Stop at a gas station, run inside real quick or something. Don't want to keep it on you. Don't want to leave it in the vehicle. Something like that.
Yep.
All right. On to our next one. Can we install tailgate lettering on top of a ceramic?
You can. I would suggest a alcohol prep wipe before you slap those down. That'll help do the trick.
Yep. When you put mud flaps on, do you have the front ones stick out beyond fender an inch or so?
Those have a factory, like there's a how do you say it? There's a lip that you slide it into, and then the holes are auto lined up, and you just slide in the fasteners. Yeah. So those are factory fitment. There's only not very much room on adjustment for those, unfortunately.
All right.
Now and that's where sometimes I think of a flap versus a splash guard. like the splash guard being the molded in.
Yeah,
the mud flap. Like I know the Bronco there's mud flaps out there.
Yeah.
That might be different.
It might do. Yeah. If you email me and show me the specific one you're talking about, it might be different than what I'm thinking. Tim, you're right. I usually sell the molded splash guards, and those are.
I know like Bronco has, I know a couple different versions. And so it just depends. But the factory ones, the Maverick factory ones are splash guards that are hard molded in thing.
Yeah.
But like you said, are going to be installed the way you said.
Yeah.
So on to our next one. Any possibility of doing a video of you doing an undercoating of a Maverick? We'd love to see what it's how it's covered and how it's done.
So go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean it's pretty easy.
It's a spring. It's a spraying material, right? We use for the bed liner. It's that same material, right?
Same company, slightly different material, a little bit less texture, not as hard. More of like rubbery consistency than a rough textured consistency. But yeah, very, very similar. It's pretty intricate because the bed liner is a 2 chemical solution that is pushed through by air to help kind of create the chemical reaction, and that's how it hardens in the bed to get that texture. This is more of a airbrush, so it's a one chemical solution. So that's the actual technical difference.
Yeah. What are the benefits to an undercoating, and what areas of the country would you see people wanting those?
Typically coasts and the northern states where they're icing roads. Anything salt related, water related, especially those trucks that are backing boats into lakes or ponds. That's a pretty high interest area. Main benefit of it is going to be rust prevention and keeping the underside of the vehicle looking great.
I think Ridgeview got his done because in Maine they do a salt sand mix, and so that sand can really do some damage over time.
Those roads are terrible up there. I've been there, visited Ridgeview. I can attest to that. I was there in March, and the roads are pretty bad.
Yeah. So our undercoating person, is it the same? Is it our bedliner guy that does
it?
Those?
Okay. Gary's the same guy who does them both. So
okay, so he has years of experience of doing this. Someone said, well, if you do it wrong, it can be a catastrophe, but our guy is experienced and has years under his belt doing this.
I saw on Facebook, right? I'm pretty sure he just passed his 15th year anniversary at our dealership. So he's been spraying, I mean,
at least 10 years, because I think he started in wash line, then moved to Kevin's crew, and then moved on to our bedliner crew.
Yeah, we've taken that in-house. We used to have a Rhino dealer in town that we used to take them to, and then we did it in-house. They went out of business, and so we do a lot of our stuff we've taken in-house instead of contracting with people. I mean, even we used to do our lift kits and such. We used to take it to a company, and we've hired people in now. That's his full-time job, is to put lifts on and superchargers on and all that kind of stuff.
He's our department's technician. The only thing he does is our vehicle upgrades and customer upgrades. So we don't allow him to do new vehicle or used vehicle inspections. We don't allow him to do any diagnosing. It is strictly you wanted to come in here and you wanted to do an upgrade, and he's the one that's doing it,
Yep.
So
he's done some on mine, I know. So
he's
does a good job.
His name's Chris. He does a heck of a job. He's been a senior master tech longer than I've been alive. So, I mean, that's awesome.
And he's done things on Jeeps, before the Broncos, the new Broncos were out 6th gen. He was doing things on Jeeps for a while.
Didn't I hear that he used to do
flat track racing?
That's what it was. Yeah, racing.
Yeah. So he's like doing dirt.
He's been around all of it.
Yeah, he's got a couple side-by-sides. He's really big into the toys. He's got his race car, So when it comes to anything that's got an engine, when it's got any sort of ingenuity involved with it, I'm really curious to see what he says. He's a great guy.
Yeah. That's what it was earlier. I was going to mention was the Bronco event going on November 18th. Talking about that because he invited me to go off-roading with them somewhere, and that reminded me of the event going on
Oh,
November
yeah.
18th here in Kansas, in southeast corner
Yep.
of Kansas, down there by Pittsburgh somewhere.
Yeah.
But they're on Instagram. Is it Bronco Performance
Yes,
Parts or
Bronco
something?
Performance something at
Yeah, so it's the
Kansas.
Rocks Park or something
Yeah,
like that,
Kansas
right?
Rocks Park or
Yeah.
Kansas Recreational Rocks Park.
I don't know if they have it on their events yet, but that's where
Yeah,
they're
I
gonna be
think it's
holding.
mainly the Bronco guy, the Bronco Performance guy arranging it all. It's a private park, but I don't think he's completely setting it up with the park for a private event. Sounds like it's going to be open to the public that day.
I might be
So,
there.
I want to go. We'll see.
Hey, it's Kansas. It's not. I mean,
not that far.
Yeah, it's three.
Yeah.
I think 3
You
hours
driven
from
further?
us.
You've
I
driven
think it's
further?
3.5 hours for us. I'm like, well, I could just double that and go to Colorado.
Right?
Just
I mean,
Just
We'll
do you
see.
contact Brian.
you think they'd let me follow along behind on a 4-wheeler?
Yeah. I mean, they have Jeeps and side-by-sides
Yeah,
in their
the
pictures.
biggest
so.
ones are side by sides and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lebo said, let's borrow a Maverick and take it with us. Because I told him, let's borrow your brother's Bronco Sport. He's like, no, let's just take a Maverick. I'm like, I don't think you understand what this is about. This is about Bronco.
It might.
He's
Yeah.
like, no, we can take a Maverick. I'm like,
I heard it's pretty rocky there. That's why they call it
so.
Kansas Rocks. Park.
Yeah.
Rock Park.
I'd be interested to go and take pictures and stuff. Just be a camera guy on the trail. That'd be
There you
fun.
go. Yeah.
And by then you should have your drone license.
Tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah. I take my test with the FAA tomorrow. That's gonna be exciting.
All right, we gotta keep moving.
All right.
We're on the move.
Are you a B&W hitch dealer? If so, can I get one for my Mav? LO. Just kidding, but I want one for my F250.
I can get you covered on the 250. That'd be funny just seeing a Maverick.
Yeah. Is a standalone hitch still a constraint? I don't think so.
No.
Not anymore.
No, when they only have 41,000 orders and 65% of their capacity is their capacity on their hitch, that's not really a constraint anymore. So when you look at it that way, I mean, I think some months, like in some weeks, they might see last week. I don't know if you guys remember last week on the constraint list, it actually listed the hitch. This week it did not. So again, that's it goes and comes on a weekly basis based on, again, their suppliers.
Yeah.
So.
That being said, when I order from my supplier to get a Bronco Sport or Maverick hitch, it says 2-week wait.
Okay.
So I don't know about from the factory, but I know that I'll need 2 weeks to get that hitch.
Okay.
That's on the Ford Accessories website.
Yep. What's the strangest thing someone has asked you to add to their new vehicle?
So we have a running joke. When someone's being very pleasant and telling me that they don't necessarily want any accessories, one of my last things is I'm like, okay, well, you're sure you don't need the eyelashes for your headlights? And my coworker Sean is notorious for it. So we've had to buy pink headlight eyelashes for customers and install them on brand new vehicles. I think that's just the funniest thing in the world.
I actually heard about that. He was trying to break the ice, and then she actually was like, "Wait a second, what is this?" and had to look it up and go, I want those.
That. Yeah. So
he sold 2 sets in a week, from what I understand.
Yeah. So I mean, he's a goofy guy. I love Sean so much. And so he uses it as an icebreaker. We're like, hey, you need a supercharger, headlight eyelashes, whatever you need, I got you.
Or both.
Yeah. And
the same truck.
The lady she totally like hopped on board right on the icebreaker. And so, I mean, I think she was a great customer, and like she came in and was thrilled with her vehicle because in our office, we have that 2-car bay. We backed it in and we installed the eyelashes, and we just left it there because it was freshly detailed. And she loved it. She was so fired up, and we were smiling so much. We were so happy for her, but we couldn't stop laughing at that. Thought that was funny.
Never know. Mustache.
That'd be cool. I haven't sold one of those, but I think that'd be hilarious.
I don't even know if they make them. I was just making things up.
Oh no, they do, Tim. I'll put one on your Bronco.
No thanks.
If they don't, I bet Sampro can make us one.
About to.
No thanks.
Hey, that would have been cool when I had Steve.
All I need is a bumper. Front bumper.
That would have been nice when I had Steve. a mustache. Like that's something I would have done in high school is put a mustache on my 96 Camry named Steve.
That's awesome.
All
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. I think that's probably the funniest thing.
So this may not be a per se Niles question, but can the Ranger towing 7,500 pounds tow a Maverick?
I don't know. What's the curb weight of a Maverick? As long
well,
as the curb weight's under 7,500 pounds.
Well, so then you got in the trailer. Ooh. Well, but what's the?
We're looking at this. Oh, a Maverick is only 3,636 to 3,693 pounds.
Easy.
So,
put that thing on the trailer and
Hey,
watch that Ranger.
a Maverick with the tow package, EcoBoost all-wheel drive could tow.
Oh yeah.
A Maverick.
Oh yeah.
A Maverick could tow a Maverick.
Whoa. Yeah, you could. That'd be funny.
Maverick
But yeah, no, you could.
A Bronco could almost tow it.
Get it like an aluminum deck trailer, like go rent one, and you could toss a Maverick on the back of that Ranger, and you'd be going down the road. I don't want to know what your gas.
So you got to add the weight of the trailer too.
That's right.
Don't forget about that part.
Yeah,
so Maverick may not be able to pull a Maverick, but
I mean,
well,
now, but it's gonna strain a little bit.
Put a Maverick. I mean, you could keep the Maverick on the ground. Just put a tow rope. I mean, just depends on how long you're trying.
Well, except you can only do that with hybrid.
True.
EcoBoost does not allow you to tow it like that.
True.
So if you're looking at Maverick and you're looking to tow behind an RV, you have to keep that in mind. You need Maverick to be able to two-wheel tow it behind something like that.
You said the Maverick weight was 3,500?
Yeah.
Man, for a single axle trailer, that I've got outside, it's a 3,500 pound axle. So it would be everything that trailer wanted. I don't know. That'd be kind of dodgy. I don't know, man. I don't know. Good luck finding a trailer that'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, no Broncos entered, but there's a Maverick Tremor Racing 2023 SCCA Rallycross National Championship Friday, October 6th at Heartland Motorsports Park, Topeka, Kansas.
Wow.
Should ask ML, is he going to be there?
ML, are you going to be there?
That's not that far from us.
Oh, wait, ML said that.
No.
Are you going to be there, ML?
Yeah, if that's in Topeka on the 6th, Tim, I mean,
Gotta go look at the Maverick Tremor.
Oh, yeah. Okay, day trip.
And then we'll take some hood scoops and stuff and see if they need those too.
I have a bed mat I need to sell.
Those fender vents are functional, actually, that I put on mine. So I'm just saying. There is air. There's openings for air to come out. I'm just saying.
So I'm hearing video team field trip.
I mean, hey, look, I'm in the truck. Don't as long as we got snacks.
It's the Pro Access tailgate coming to the Lariat is it exclusive?
Okay, so
we're getting into some other stuff.
Yeah, if you go to Ford.com, let me look it up. Oh, I know it's on the Tremor 402A when the Tremor becomes available. Question is, it's going to be part of the bed utility package. So if you look and try to build one out and go to the bed utility package, then I think that's what you let me look. Bed utility package.
While he's looking for that, ML Culpepper says he will be there.
So they're listing it now. Pro Access, they're calling it the multi-access tailgate. That is available King Ranch Platinum and Tremor 402A. So there you go. So you get the Pro. That's where you're getting your tailgate, power tailgate up and down, in the multi-access tailgate. So it's that's a late availability. It does say removes the tailgate step, so we'll remove that. But it's not available on your Raptors XLT. Not available in Lariat trim. So you got to go King Ranch Platinum, Tremor 402A, which is kind of a disappointing, in my opinion, but is what it is.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not part of Ford's system on what should be and shouldn't be.
Yeah. Niles.
Yes.
Can rear airbag suspension be added to a Maverick hybrid?
I think I know the answer to that.
I'm gonna say no off the top of my head, but I would do some homework tomorrow and I can verify.
Well, yeah, I wonder though if to get that if the certain suspension, like a more of a truck suspension, like a Ranger F-150, needs to be had. For that
That's kind of what I
than
was
a
thinking.
unibody.
That's kind of what I was thinking. The rear end.
We're
needs
also
to be a bit
talking
different.
hybrid with front wheel drive and not all wheel drive.
Yeah. My instinct tells me no, but I can look around tomorrow.
We'll have you fill out all the necessary disclaimers.
Yes.
Yeah. If I do find a set of airbags, then boy howdy, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Last question I see here. There might be one that pops up here in a minute. I have been waiting months to get my Ford Accessories dash cam. Is this still a hard item to get, or is my dealership jerking me around?
This would be the question of, is this a DIO that they misplaced, or is this an accessory that you purchased?
Probably something that they
It is a
purchased.
Ford accessory. Ford accessory, but it's not a DIO available.
So if it's Ford accessories, you can get that in 3 to 5 days at our dealership. But from another dealership, I can speculate.
I don't know. There are dash cams available. I don't know which one
There
this is and what it is, but
there's multiple different.
I found $100. We found $100 one on Amazon.
There's yeah. I was gonna say, Tim, the one that you had, I'm pretty impressed with that. That was cool.
The link, I believe you put it in your video, right?
On my Ford Video Guide channel.
Yeah. Okay. So we got it for $69 when they had it on sale. It goes for $100 regular, but usually it's about $89. But sometimes, if you're lucky, if you keep it in your cart, it'll go on sale for $69 plus a 10% off coupon.
And then a little bit of labor.
A little bit of labor. But then you have a front and back dash cam or a trail cam like he did.
Yeah. And I'm not really using because the other one I actually put on the dash, not up on the glass, because I'm not using the front camera up there because I get a front camera.
Yeah.
I just used it so that I could see the trail.
Yeah.
But it works.
Trail cam.
Still works, by the way.
Even though it's rained several times.
Yeah.
So
it holds up to the rain, even though it doesn't say it's an exterior camera. It's supposed to be on the interior of the vehicle, but it works.
We made it work. Oh, and by the way, we rigged that up at like 9:30 at night in the pitch black dark up in the mountains.
Wow.
Thank goodness for those little lights that you can
like usually here you could do that. There's city lights and such, and there's a glow.
No. Pitch dark.
Pitch black. Like
wow.
I pulled off a fender flares.
He's like, I'm gonna pull off the grill. I'm like, okay. I go get my phone and I hear a pop. And I come back. I'm like, he didn't pull off the grill. What was that? Whatever. And he's like, okay, new plan. Come over here. I'm like, what? And I walk over and the fender flares pulled off. I'm like,
so plan A and B didn't work, but plan C did.
It came out of nowhere.
It was just the way he was like, all right, new plan.
Where there's a Will, there's a Tim. I made it work. I was bound and determined to have a trail camera in Colorado.
Yeah. So the guy said that this is a dash cam that he purchased through the dealership at pickup.
Ooh, so it was in the car deal, basically, is how I understand that. Is how I would interpret that.
It's still a Ford accessory one, though.
Yeah.
So it's still a Ford accessory one, but what that means to me is if it was like, hey, when I'm buying this Maverick, hey, also can you toss in the dash cam? They're like, oh yeah, sure thing. And then paperwork happened. I'm wondering if it was on the WIO or if they ordered it. Scenario.
Yeah. ML Culpepper says even if we can't make it to Topeka for the race, he will be here he's going to stop by, say hi, and go visit the garage.
That's sick. Okay, cool.
So there are some dash cams on Ford Accessories website right now that are available. I don't know which one you ordered. Not all of them are available, but there are some available.
Yeah.
This
they're
is for
available
the F-150.
And they're available, and if it was on the WIO, then you should be good to go.
Mm-hmm. You were told you owe? Apparently they owe on it, so it probably wasn't rolled into the deal. I would tell them I don't have my camera. I don't owe you anything until my camera's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's
Yeah.
Okay, so when you
So-
put in the Maverick, I had F-150 on mine, but put in the Maverick, yeah, there's a dash cam one that's showing, and then there's one for a front dash cam with rear facing camera bundle, $309. I'd go with the I'd go with
totally.
Amazon.
Forget what your dealer's trying to make you purchase. Go to his dash cam.
I don't know, because
video.
that one doesn't even look any bigger, like the actual
No.
camera. There's
No.
the camera. I can't see the screen. That doesn't. Oh, you know what? I think that might tie into your center stack screen. That actually would be cool.
Okay, that would. But you'd also have to pay for installation fees at that point too.
Well, it's on the Ford Accessories website. What is it?
Oh, look, it has a
okay.
GPS thing there. So it does require GPS, which ours does not. You just wire it into the thing.
And it actually gives you your coordinates, which was
Yeah, I'm gonna say
cool.
I mean, some people might want that. Some people might not. You never know.
Like it gave us the coordinates, it gave us the timestamp, it gave us the date. Like it had all these things on it. So like if you were to get into a wreck, you have all this information, all this data to present. Which is what it's for, but it's actually pretty cool as a trail cam too to have, to be like, I was at this coordinate when I was doing this at this time on this day.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But totally, if your dealer, if you feel like your dealer's jerking you around, certainly tell them we don't owe you anything. You haven't given us a dash cam at this point, and then go to the video, which I think Tim is going to link. Are you gonna link that, or
actually I was gonna play?
You're gonna play it?
I was gonna play it if I can. I don't know if I
okay.
I don't know if I can get it to come up or not. Here, take that off. Comment off.
But get the dash cam that he used, because my husband actually purchased it for our personal vehicles, and we took it off of his truck when we sold it and had it laying around. So then that's how it ended up being his trail cam. But seriously, like $89 to $69, you have to do it yourself, but it's super easy to wire up.
So
there it is.
How's that look? There you go.
Pretty good.
So there's kind of what it looked like installed and everything.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm sure I have some footage.
I will tell you, you do have to plug in.
I wired it in and I ran the wire back around to the front of it, but oh, there's an ad. Let's watch an ad on YouTube, which is funny because I don't get any monetization on that. Anyway, so you can see the camera right there in the middle, right under the grill.
So if you're wanting trail cam, but if you're looking for just the dash cam,
that's pretty subtle.
Yeah, but if you're looking for just a dash cam, this one will work perfectly for you. It'll get front and back.
And I can change it. I can revolve it. So if I'm just driving down the highway, I can have it go straight, which is kind of cool. Yep. And then it records everything. So, you know, and all that. But then I kind of just demonstrating how I ran the cord around. But and then that was actually just installing it. We hadn't used it yet, but then we got to the top of American Flag Mountain. Oh, there's some of the footage from that front camera.
Yeah.
So, and it's on the smaller, it is kind of a small little screen, but you know, I mean,
it worked.
I mean, it worked. It allows me, like, if I'm stopped, I'm like, okay, oh, there's a huge rock coming up, you know, because like once you get to a certain point, you can't see it anymore. It's between where the there's you washing the windows. But when you get to a certain point and you're over the hood, you can't see it. Then you can look over to the camera and go, oh, looks like I'm lined up in front of the wheels. Looks like it's probably in line. And after a while, I got used to, you know, seeing that. But you can see that the screen's kind of small on that. But anyway, it worked. I
mean,
helpful for $70. It worked pretty well.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's a really helpful tool to have that front camera while you're on a trail, because there's sometimes you might not have a trail guide. Sometimes you're just roughing it, you know.
I'm still bothered the fact that Ford doesn't. Now that they made the 12-inch touchscreen standard equipment, I was like, okay, are they going to make the front camera a standalone option? You know, because that would be great. Yeah. Nope. Still got to go clear up to the high pack. Well, now it's a high lux package. So you got to pay like way too much. But anyway, because that's all I want.
Yeah.
I probably would have been like, oh, do I need to trade now that they made that available? I'm actually kind of glad they didn't, because then I'm like, I would have wanted to trade. But anyway,
all right,
it works. So there's the cheap mans, and there's a way. So
Yes.
I've added a lot of little $100, $250 items to that Bronco.
Yeah.
So what makes it fun, though? I mean, it's a well-tailored suit.
Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah. All right. The other questions I have in there are non-aftermarket questions.
Well, I know that it's 9:00 here. I know that some people already on the East Coast have checked out. We appreciate them joining us, but and also Niles, thank you for joining us and talking accessories
Absolutely.
as always. So if you do have an order with Law McArthur, and you have, yours has already been built and such, especially if it's in transit, it's one of those 100 Maverick orders or 80 Super Duties, or I think even 80 F-150s coming in. You need accessories put on them. You want to make sure you contact Niles. So you want to throw that in there. Now, is it still Niles LMP at Gmail?
Yeah.
Or Niles LMP at Gmail?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. I didn't know if you had to conform to the new regulations.
Well, so technically I have both. So because for a while there, I switched to the new email address, and then my old email address was blowing up too much. I can't ignore it. So
there you go. It's on the screen now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, actually mine's not working right now.
I bounce between all three.
Mine's not working right now because for some reason when I close out of it, try to log back in, the password isn't working. So I'm like,
that happened to me.
So anyway, it's supposed to be for
just
so that we can keep client information secure and everything. So.
See, I've been bouncing between all three emails.
Yeah.
I have it on my phone. I have it on my computer at work. I tell people it's on my new business cards when I start handing them out. But I've handed out that business card for almost 4 years now to every customer I've spoken to in person, and we've handed it out on the live stream for a year now. So I don't know that I'm gonna be able to walk away from that email scot-free.
Yeah. No.
Oh yeah. I mean,
sorry, IT.
there's a lot tied into that. So, but yeah. So.
All right.
That's the way we are.
Well, we should let you get to bed.
All right. Good luck on
an
your
early
test
morning.
tomorrow.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
We'll see
Thank you.
soon.
Thank you.
All right. There you go. So Niles and actually may become part of the YouTube team here. So helping us out a couple days with some. Once he gets that drone license, we might be doing some fun drone stuff around here with his help. And he's pretty good at likes to take pictures of our cool aftermarket stuff, and probably do more stuff on Instagram and stuff like that. So looking forward to possibly doing that in the near future. So we'll see how that progresses. So
all right.
So
Marine Vet says that he just got home from a day of wheeling in the Rockies, Kingston Peak Trail, which is a 6.
They say those trail numbers can change based on the conditions and the weather,
which is what Melissa and Brian were telling us.
They didn't tell us what they were.
No, but I think she said that even a week before, it would have, like with the mud, it would have been a harder trail. And like a week later, she said it would be even harder if it were to snow. So
it was really fun going on those trails. So we've already figured out, it's like, okay, 10 cut pass we could do on our own without a trail guide.
Yeah.
I even think the American Flag Mountain I could do without a trail guide because there was only one spot that we needed help.
Yeah. And one of us could get out to spot the other.
Yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't like, it was just more or less making sure we put the right tire on the rock to get it just right. But I really think we came down without any help. So, anyway, so those are now Hancock, I probably would not do.
No, I would definitely want to do that with a trail guide.
Yeah. We could get pretty close to the top going the other way through Tin Cup if we needed to. But, anyway.
Well, except that's the one where we went wheel up.
Yeah. Well, I said most of the way. That would be the one spot.
So
we'll see. We'll get more practice on this, but definitely a couple trails. So there's so many trails in Colorado. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right. So next question. My Maverick was totaled in December. My Ford Pass is still active. His went from Alabama to Illinois. Now it shows Texas. Could I still start it? It does show it's still partially alive.
You might be able to.
Yeah.
So it's totaled and I see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What happens if they close order bank 1 for the Ranger? Does that prevent unscheduled orders already in from being scheduled?
They're not closing the order bank at this point.
All right.
In order bank 1, there's not really there's no numbers. It's just the order bank.
Yeah.
And there's job 1 and job 2, like we said. But at this point, I mean, they're gonna build Rangers. It's just a matter of time. They'll come to agreement eventually, and they'll start getting back to producing them. But I mean, it'll probably hinder how many they can do in the full year. But like I said, there's only 2,800 unscheduled orders plus the ones that have already been scheduled. There's probably less than 4,000. They make more than that in a year.
Yeah.
Even if they cut the production to 8 months, they would still, even 10 months, they would probably still easily be able to build every order that's in there. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be concerned if you're in there. Right now at this point, we're just in a holding pattern on that.
Yeah. So Sahas says, my Bronco Raptor was built 9/19 and shipped 9/24 according to the tracker, which is surprising due to the strike. Can you check where the truck is? Unfortunately, we can't check other dealerships' vehicles.
Correct.
I will tell you that the tracker can be unreliable. And so sometimes it can say it's shipped, but it might be sitting off the rail.
You'll get a email that says it's been shipped, and that means that it's been released from the factory. They no longer take responsibility for it. It's been handed off to shippers. But if they're not getting through,
so if it was during the
picket lines, then it's not probably going anywhere.
Yeah. So if it was during those dates, or after the certain date, it may not have gotten past the gate, even though it was released and says ship. So. On the other hand, it could be sitting at the rail yard waiting to get on the truck. Because 9/24, it's 9/26. That's 2 days. If it's shipped, that's only 2 days. Depends on where you are.
I found Broncos, even after they've been built, still take a couple weeks before they actually ship.
Yeah.
Seems like.
Yeah.
Even when the plant was up and running.
But even once ours say shipped, for us, it usually takes 2 weeks. It really depends on where you are in the country.
I like to wait until I see it's on a rail.
Yeah.
Now we can see what's on the rail. Your dealer can. You won't be able to see that necessarily, but you can have your dealer kind of look. But I like to see that it's on a rail, and I know it's on a rail. That means it's moving, so it's going somewhere. But sometimes I can see that it's been released from the factory. It's been shipped. And then sometimes it'll sit there and set release. We have Lightnings, F-150 Lightnings that have said released from the plant for some of them 2 months, and they still haven't been put on a rail yet. So,
Vol says, will you rename the new arrival / sold vehicle area of the lot Maverick Avenue with the 104 inbound trucks?
Yeah, hopefully they cycle through. We get them cycled through fast.
Hopefully. Marine Vet said that trail, the first snow, is coming soon to Colorado. He believes that trail is scheduled to close tomorrow. So as we're heading into winter, you'll see a lot of those trails close.
Yeah, I think, like when we were there, that it was a good time because it was, the snow had melted on most of the peaks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
and they had time to dry out.
Yeah, they had time to dry out and such. So, it was a good time.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable. Is the Lariat going to get the Pro Access tailgate? I think we did that one.
We answered that earlier.
Any plans to come to the LA Auto Show?
Don't know, but I got this list. A list of all the auto shows.
Oh my god!
Because Ford right now, if you go to an auto show, test drive a vehicle because you get a $50 off. You get like a private offer for $50 off. Yeah, not much, but anyway.
So how much did I get?
Well, some of those we didn't test drive. Kansas City Auto Show's on here.
Maybe we need to hit that one.
That's in March 14th. Well, these are probably public days, but some of these don't have media days.
Yeah.
But LA is up here, and it is November 17th to probably not.
Nope, because we plan to go November 18th to the off-roading place.
Yeah, well, media days would be before that. Probably if they do have media days.
Yeah.
But also November 6th to the 8th is when I'll be in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, and you don't like to do too many trips
at the model
back to back.
I'll be at the Model E intensive.
Yeah.
we'll see. I don't think I'll learn it. It's like I don't know if I'll learn anything. I actually know quite a bit about the charging, and we get to drive Lightnings and Mach-E's. I'm like, oh, you mean what I drove for a year?
What I can drive any.
And I towed, and they were like, oh, you're gonna get a tow with them? I'm like, oh, done. Okay, I've done that. Charging, yeah, I've done that. I mean, I even was telling them that, like, I like, right now they're saying that the Ford Pass app is not reliable on which chargers, like if they're broken down or whatever, it won't be on there and listed, because the companies are letting you know within their app whether or not they're down, but they're not pushing it to all the other apps like Ford's and such. And I'm like, just use ChargeWay. And she's like, actually, that is, I could have mentioned that. So I'm like, yeah, so ChargeWay is a good one. But yeah, so anyway,
you're there
we'll see.
for moral support and to help your other
Bring
teammates.
back the education back to the sales staff.
Yes, you're there to help your other managers learn the material.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll try not to be an instructor. I'll try to just be nice.
Just sit there and listen.
I'll do like I did the last one where they were asking people questions, and I'd wait. I knew the answer. I'm just waiting for nobody else is answering. Okay, well, it's this. And they're like, yes, right. And I'm like, it's not rocket science. Anyway.
Any updates to 24? Wait, do we get that one?
Oh, wait. Okay, what's it say? Any updates for 24? Yeah, so it's a late availability. So again, I wouldn't even look for it to happen until at least the first of the year and be available to show up. So I'm really surprised that they aren't letting people know this out there. Ford hasn't put a memo out yet, but because, I mean, right now it's on the order guide. It's not even showing on the order guide as even a late availability item at all.
Yeah.
But it's in the Ford's building price, which is kind of crazy. So, yeah.
All right. Is the 6.5 info screen on the XLT Lux package same as an XLT?
Okay, so the bigger infotainment screen, wait, 6.5. That's not the same off the bigger screen that you get with the FX4 package, right? I think we're talking MAV, I assume.
He's saying
with the
XLT Lux package.
Okay, so I don't think the Lux package itself gets an upgraded productivity screen.
No.
So I think it's when you go to FX4 or Lariat trim, you get upgraded to the bigger screen.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
All right.
But I might be confused on the size of that screen.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's standard. So I think the only one XLT to get any kind of upgraded screen of what's standard equipment on that already is FX4, because it needs the off-road upgraded screen. I don't think XLT gets that. And then I think Lariat. Some people might be able to tell me. They probably know off the top of their head, but there you go.
Mm-hmm. Is it true that the 24 F-150 black appearance package no longer comes with the unique hood? The 22-23 model came with the same hood as the trimmer.
Okay, so yes, yeah, it did. And I don't think I've covered it on the XLT, and we did on the Lariat, but I don't remember. Oh, you got the order guides on that. I don't remember on the top of my head if it has an upgraded hood or not. Now, all the hoods have been kind of upgraded for this year, but whether or not they have the vents in there like they did, like the trimmers, shared the same hood as the black appearance package. It was really cool. I don't know about 24 off the top of my head. I'd have to look up the order guide. So somebody told me the other day they actually like when I get stumped, and I have to look it up, which I'm going to do right now. So go on to the next question. I'm going to look this up because now I want to know.
Well, here's another one. Does dual pipes come with the 24 STX 5.0 Coyote truck?
The dual exit exhaust? No, I don't believe so. Might come with the FX4, like that 201A or whatever it's called. We'll look at that too. Here's the order guide. So let's go down to go down to the packages first, because that'll tell me.
The black appearance package.
All right. Black appearance package gets does not mention any difference in the hood. Black appearance package does get the dual exhaust with the black tips. Yep, there's no mention about the hood. So it'd be interesting. And sometimes they forget things on the order guide. So I guess until we actually see one in person, we won't really know. Now the STX black appearance package doesn't mention dual exhaust on it, but maybe that's standard. So let's go on up to STX, which I think STX is, in my opinion, the STX is the new XLT. I mean, when you look at the equipment of the STX, I really feel like that's the new XLT trim. So bumper, rear defrost, rear vent. So it's not standard equipment getting the dual exhaust. And there you go. If you go up to the 201A equipment group, that's the FX4 STX, then you get the dual exhaust with the black tips. So that's how you get that. Otherwise, you probably would not get it. It's not listed in the black appearance package for the STX black appearance package. So just going STX doesn't get it. But I think the STX appearance package on that isn't available on that package. So, yeah. So there you go. So
Okay.
that's the only way you're going to get it on STX. Go up to the FX4 package.
Okay. How long is transit to McArthur after Maverick is on the rail?
About 4 weeks.
Okay. We also have our 23 Heritage is scheduled for production going to be canceled with strike going on. My friend has one on order and it has been delayed several weeks to the end of October.
Yeah, it's going to keep getting pushed back until the plant's back online.
So that was all of our questions.
Jan had a statement in there.
Oh.
You wanna highlight that?
Yeah. My friend, nope, that's not Jan. Oh, sorry if I missed this answer from before. Tim thinks I got my t-shirt and Fitz package in the mail.
Oh, they gave her a Fitz package too. All right.
All right.
We helped. She's one of our customers. We helped her get scheduled. So
yes.
And there was some struggle there because she had a bad dealer she was dealing with in 22, but she's been waiting longer. Some of you, there's somebody that said, 16 months have been waiting for that XL. Well, she's waiting. We're over 2 years now for her.
Yeah.
Because she ordered, I think, in like October of 21.
Yeah.
So now next month, it'll be 2 years.
Yes.
And hers is scheduled for a November build date, I think. So by the time she gets it, it'll be 2 years and 3 or 4 months. So
sometimes with these Maverick people going, it's been 100 and so many days. Talk to Bronco.
Yeah. So we're talking 365 days in a year.
Yeah.
So double that. We're 6, we're 7, or she's over 700. There's a 700 club out there, 700 day club out there.
She ordered.
So
she just said September 17th, 2021. Okay.
So she's already been 2 years.
Yes.
So she's 2 years
and
10 days.
Yeah. But, Bronco, when those were first going, those took.
Some of those people were waiting.
Some of those people waited 3 years before they got one.
Coming up in this next month, I need to get my date here. Okay. My Bronco will be 2 years old in 3 days.
Oh, wow.
So
we're going to have to do a special short for that.
929. I'll have to drive it unless your mom has it. All right.
Tell her you need it for its birthday.
Yeah.
Because I need to do.
She might have to drive it because we have to get the shop might have to look at it because we had a car that was a really weird thing driving by us that blew their tire and then put a dent in our door. It's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little crease in the door, like somebody. It's like somebody looked at it and go, "Oh, did somebody open their door under your door?" And no, somebody's tire blew.
Yes.
While we were driving by on a country road.
Yes.
Whew. So got to get that fixed.
Yep. All right. Yeah.
All right. Anyway. Okay. That's it, I guess. There you go. Second week with the new area. By the way, don't forget, sign up if you get a Bronco. If you buy a Bronco, the person that bought the Bronco gets into Bronco off rodeo. I want to be highlighting this because not enough people are using this. This is a great deal. I got a chance to do it, so I haven't used mine for my Bronco, but I got a chance to go as a dealer. Haven't used mine for my actual Bronco purchase because I don't want to go by myself, and I don't know if I want to pay to have somebody else go because it's a little high right now. We'll look into that. But anyway, yes. So there's Texas, New Hampshire, Moab, and Nevada. I had to look them up for some reason. But you could even scan the QR code right from our video.
And don't forget Bronco Sport.
And don't forget, go to Moab, where Melissa and Brian are trail guides.
They are so much fun. Yes. Very knowledgeable.
But there's good people at all of them.
Yes.
So anyway, but yeah, make sure. And then if you get a 2023 Bronco Sport, you get to go as well.
Yes.
Before that, you had to have a Badlands edition or first edition for that first year.
She said that not enough Bronco Sport are taking advantage of that too.
Yes, correct. So. Well, and then we had people that were at Supercell that had a 22 Bronco Sport Big Ben that hasn't been invited, and he wants to go. It's like, why don't you open it up to the people in 22 if you need more people to go? Mm-hmm. So.
What was the deal with the shadow black paint being the Bronco Raptor only?
Yes. I don't know what the deal is.
Okay.
That happens sometimes with paint colors. Shadow black's one that
I think he asked in the past if it's maybe constrained, so they're only opening it for one trim. And no, it's probably not constrained. They probably want to reserve it for a specific trim, per se, Raptor. Because I mean,
yeah, but it's just constrained right now, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say on Maverick they had Avalanche Gray only available in trimmer.
Yeah, but that's black's been available in the others throughout the model year, but right now it's constrained to just Raptors.
Okay. Well, maybe they only want to build.
It says something about, I think, balanced out or exhausted for non-Raptors.
I wonder if they maybe have a paint shortage in that color.
Well, they had issues with the Bronco Sport tops.
Well, and then they have all, they've used all of their black body shells that they have built for Bronco, but they haven't used all of their black Bronco Raptor shells. If they're different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because technically they're not painting your vehicle. They just say, okay, we need a Raptor or we need a non-Raptor body in black. And so basically they're not saying, okay, here's your order. We need, let's go spray paint this black. That's not how that works. They're assembling them. So the actual shells are actually painted in a paint booth or paint shop and paint building. So they'll paint a bunch of whites.
Yeah. They'll paint a bunch of shells.
Yes, they'll pre-paint shells and then they'll be off to the side. So that day they'll say, we need 10 whites, we need 10 reds, we need 10 hot pepper reds, whatever, and they know how many that day they're putting together of different colors, and they'll bring those over.
Yeah, like I think
they'll assemble them.
Someone that we spoke to said it's kind of like a vending machine. They go up, they pick the shell, bring it out, bring it down.
Yeah,
it's almost
and on Mavericks it's the same way. We need this many cyber oranges or this many terrain with or without a moonroof, because they'd be different, one with an opening, one without, and then they assemble them.
So I think that's what we had thought about cyber orange, was maybe they were discontinuing cyber orange, getting rid of that. They aren't providing a secondary color. Well, they had all these cyber orange bodies that they needed to fulfill. And so they fulfilled all the cyber orange.
Well, and they wanted to switch over the colors early too. So that's why a lot of the cyber oranges and avalanches were all scheduled.
Yes.
So back in they didn't tell us, but back like in May of this year, you saw all of our cyber oranges and all of our avalanche trimmers got scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
That had avalanche,
but
they all came in the same month.
Yeah, but then someone asked, well, they aren't offering Area 51 or Atlas Blue. Well, no, but there's so many more orders with those shells. They can probably continually make those and not have to worry about that switch over as much. They're also providing a new blue color. They are not providing a bright, vibrant color to replace that
like
orange.
Yeah.
Or I guess they have cactus gray for that avalanche, but
Yeah,
those were
so pretty
trimmer
close.
avalanche.
Yes. So
So-
anyway, yeah.
A lot goes into it.
A lot
So
of
they
things that
might-
we don't even
yeah,
know, and
so-
even some of the people in Ford don't even know because it's
Yes.
a factory deal.
Yeah, so maybe they don't have enough regular Bronco body black and they need to make more, but they don't have the paint or something. But they still have the shadow black Raptor body.
Hmm.
And so they're like, okay, well, we need to fulfill, we can provide those, but we can't provide the others.
Yeah. All right. It's 9:30 now. 2.5 hours from me going. So, all right, guys, if you have any questions, there's an email address, sarahdavis@lawmacarthur.com. She'll answer about all your questions. Anything that she can't answer, she'll forward on to me. Or if you want to connect with us, of course, you can still use my Timothy Bartz at Gmail. But if you need to, of course, any questions go there because, like I said, if she doesn't have it, she'll forward it on to me. And we'll try to answer those questions. So, yeah. Other than that,
All right.
anything else?
I don't think so.
I think we covered everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any ideas for any topics or good dealers or an is it true? Make sure you email to Sarah Davis at Law McArthur as well. And
Yes.
so we'd love getting some of those, those comments and such, and if for those different parts of our live stream. So thank you very much. And we're breaking out the scheduling notes and the recalls into separate videos that'll go live tomorrow. Most of you watching this probably aren't going to be watching them because you already watched it.
Yeah.
But all right. Other than that, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys for watching and sticking around with us. And until next week or until the next video, stay positive, be kind to one another,
And be kind to yourselves.
and we'll see you on the next video.